Would you believe that I was odd? If I told you I looked in the mirror and hypnotized myself into perceiving I was God, your understanding of your own divinity got abused in church, Genesis 9:25. They tried to use the verse to tell you recurs personification of the universe. What I'm attempting to encapsulate in this unique verse is you and I verse. Oh, we don't need new sneakers or the new FIFA, we need new leaders. And I don't mean Obama or the pastor, your mama, Sean Carter. I'm talking to you fathers more than marijuana farmers, getting bananas with your llamas, always getting into dramas, disrespecting our partners. The kids are left in the darkness and no one's left to lead the way. And they ain't sure who mum loves more, weave or rapes. As I blow a smoke ring, I sip my E&J. I wonder if we never lost pack where we be today. I know it hurts, but it's real. First they work in the kills, and there's rappers spitting verses in the skirt of some ills. But all the real niggas get murdered and killed. I'm sending out a SOS, this is an urgent appeal. We need more focused soldiers, too many culture vultures. Witnesses with no credit, trying to culture over the revolution. Will not be televised, get off your damn sofa. Be more than a dag folder and study that Sankofa. His gully when man knows the truth about his ancestors' legacy. Carried on his damn shoulder, identified him more with UBP than he can Sosa. But he's got his swam and couple man in a Land Rover with a plan for couple grands. That's a mad road, son. You be sitting in the can if the plan goes wrong. And it will, gonna set us up to fail. Getting in and out of cells like we can't get enough of jail. No peace in the streets, it's just another hell. But mom's heart still broke when they ain't give my brother bell. This ain't a stupid cartoon, they're shooting harpoons at us young tooting carmoons. Look at our wounds, they will Malachi your cue to silence the truth. Mumia Abu Jamal, you for life, figure views. Fluoride to calcify the third eye of the youth and leave them blind and confused. Smart lies in the news, dirty like the junkie in the park, lighting a spoon. Do you know the truth about the dark side of the moon? Let's go to NASA and ask them who's Jack Parsons, stranger than John Carter versus Marvin the Black Martian. You know, when a man's got a crater on the moon named after him, Alistair Crowley's brethren, you don't even know who that is. Go ask NASA. They'll be giving you stuff like Avatar and E.T. and all this rubbish. They ain't telling you what's really popping. Think you're in the know. Got your eyes wide shut. We should run up in the Vatican, gas blasting, but you mango munching coons are too busy dancing and laughing, asking for chances and meager advances. An elitist and heartless system, defeat is the harvest. It's like you sow with your soul, but what you're reaping is garbage. Most of you are brainwashed by television, so you switch your brains off while Jedi's spitting. Yeah, it's real, but your dying is still realer. I am 7, the red pill dealer, slanging reality raps about these alleys and flats, no fantasy fronting, trying to bring reality back. Fuck boys keep screaming about carrying straps and handling crap, but none of them can actually rap. Turn on the mixtape, all I hear is yappity yap. I'm getting cash in the trap. Blah blah, something about grabbing my gap. I'm more genocidal, anti-Nubian propaganda from my mouth of it being perceived as a proper gangster, but I just see a proper wankster. And even though he sells, he's just the anchor. Smoke and mirrors, illusion for the camera. Look how many false prophets infiltrated since the Panthers. I hit the steam room and meditate on blocking chakras. Astral projected by repeating forgotten mantras. Quantum leaping to the past life, Gasper Ganga. No crabs in my bucket, but both my dogs are cancer. When I die, don't cry, let's smoke a box of ganja. Throw my CD on the stereo and drop some bangers. One last time, turn it high, let me speak to the masses. Listen to every song I wrote, but you sheesh in my ashes. Give my son my lyric book and let him read from a passage. I'm a believer in magic, and in every bar I cast a spell to free your mind from this darkened cell. Grant you bell, liberate your soul and break your art from jail. I know they feel your dogs are real, they're fugazi. So good sometimes it's hard to tell, but I can see the star trapped in the heart of a trap star. It's different from a star rapping about trapping but lacks heart. The world gets deceived, but the media easy. Give us free is what I scream at the TV. Holographic subtitles when I dream in Swahili, feeling like the seed of a fiend. All I know is there's lessons that I'm yet to learn, tables that I'm yet to turn, bridges that I'm yet to burn, stripes that I'm yet to earn. Still on the battlefield, feeling like a veteran. They're trying to trick you out your souls, and you're letting them. They're trying to trick you out your souls, and you're letting them. Illuminati. Yeah. Told the doc my heart was burning. He just gave me Gaviscon. I am like a vagabond, traveling through Babylon, searching for the God inside. Internal tetragrammaton. A humble brother full of pride, trying to get my balance on. Foggy with a crooked smile, witches want the magic one. Most my life's been doing crime, robberies with valleys on. J Gamble Street dreaming like my GOC in Paris 1. Left my son too many times, wondering where his daddy's gone. All the years I spent inside, my story's not a lavish one. Wish I could go back in time, reverse the damage that was done. All the pain I felt in life, just fuel me to carry on. It's probably where my passion's from. It's probably where my talent's from. It's probably what kept me alive when my mum and gran was gone. That's why I got so many sides, a happy and a savage one, a tranquil and a manic one, content and a famished one. I'm for peace that squashed the beef, but never been a salad done. I could get your carrots gone, smoking on the highest strains like where'd you get your cabbage from? Greener than the Amazon, a jungle with my chalice bomb. I get my Congo natty on, feeling like a pot of gold, sliders and a trackie on. Everybody's Iron Man till I get my proton cannon on. Then they're drawing out their diagrams in the station, getting their ballad on. Told the doc my heart was burning, he just gave me Gaviscon. I am like a vagabond, traveling through Babylon, searching for the God inside. Internal tetragrammaton, a humble brother full of pride, trying to get my balance on. Foggy with a crooked smile, witches want that magic one. Most my life's been doing crime, robberies and valleys on. J Gamble Street dreaming like my GOC in Paris 1. Left my son too many times, wondering where his daddy's gone. All the years I spent inside, my story's not a lavish one. Wish I could go back in time, reverse the damage that was done. All the pain I felt in life just fueled me to carry on. It's probably where my passion's from. It's probably where my talent's from. Yeah. Yo. Crying in the sun, singing in the rain. Lately I've been feeling different in my brain. Someone showed me how to get rid of all this rage. Head full of fire, I'm sitting in the flames. Lone survivor, I'm living with this pain. Your physical is gone, but your spirit isn't phased. Your soul is eternal, it isn't in the grave. I can feel it in my heart, it's not written in a page in a book, but I know that it's gospel. Tears flow as I blow smoke from my nostrils. There's truth in a zoo or hope in a bottle, trying to figure out where this piece goes in a puzzle. Rich in a mansion, or broke in a hostel. I would still emotionally struggle to comprehend, but it's part of the journey comes to end. Gotta say goodbye once again. It's like we're born to die, everyone ascends. Even though I cry, I see you once again. Even though I try, I cannot pretend I'm not broken. At night I might cry you an ocean. Cry till my eyelids are swollen. Rewind the last words that were spoken. Looking for a clue, trying to see if you knew that moment. Was I laughter now so golden? Every memory now so potent. Friends asking me how I'm coping. Waking in cold sweats, whole bed soaking. I'm numb and I'm frozen. Every breath feels like I'm choking. Wanna put a hole in my head like a dolphin. Close to imploding. Feel like a piece of my soul has been stolen. That's not what I told him. That's not what I told them. I just held it, cause I ain't wanna be selfish. I bring down my people's vibe, but most of my real ones felt it. Numeral funerals, bodies in cubicles. Happens so regular, but isn't unusual. Words are redundant, nothing is suitable. The cycle of life and death is so beautiful. The flesh ain't forever. We are delusional, and the grief goes so deep. How could the last man be so brief? And the thoughts in my head, I don't get no peace. Smoke a OZ or OG, feeling like G.O.D. owes me. Reason for taking my codees and snatching loved ones from my homies. Tell me. Why? Man, it's fucked up, man. Pouring liquor just don't cut it. Yeah.
It's one of the great wonders of life. What will it be like to go to sleep and never wake up? And if you think long enough about that, something will happen. You will find out, among other things, that it'll pose the next question to you. What was it like to wake up after having never gone to sleep? That was when you were born. You see, you can't have an experience of nothing. Nature affords a vacuum. So after you're dead, the only thing that can happen is the same experience, or the same sort of experience as when you were born. In other words, we all know very well that after people die, other people are born. And they're all you. Only you can only experience it one at a time. Everybody is I. You all know you are you. And wheresoever beings exist throughout all galaxies, it doesn't make any difference. You are all of them. And when they come into being, that's you come into being. You know that very well. Only you don't have to remember the past in the same way you don't have to think about how you work the thyroid gland or whatever else it is in your organism. You don't have to know how to shine the sun. You just do it. Like you breathe. Doesn't it really astonish you that you are this fantastically complex thing? And that you're doing all of this and you never had any education in how to do it? You never learned, but you're this miracle? Well, the point is that from a strictly physical, scientific standpoint, this organism is a continuous energy with everything else that's going on. And if I am my foot, I am the sun.
One thing, I think I'm sharing the space in my end with a phantom. Makes me wanna throw lead in my magnum. Aim at a cop, empty my cannon, blow me some pot, empty a dragon. Hoping it prevents me from spazzing. Rage is like a deadly assassin that lives in my heart right next to the passion. I sit in the dark when I blow out the lantern and box with the shadows in my mind till I'm champion. Till I restore the peace in my sanctum. Or I find some equilibrium. We're out here like cowboys and Indians, fighting for a piece of oblivion, dreaming of millions. I believe the queen is amphibian or lizard, and people with billions are all wizards collecting souls from the many faiths God. Ruling the maze where many stay lost, an elaborate labyrinth. I don't need no sage or amethyst. The bonfire on pagan savages and the deities that they pattern with. I'm known to pulverize poltergeist. I'm a soldier that's colder than polar ice. Turn them over life with free open eyes. Linking with bulletproof rings and avoid them guys with a coke fight. Say I'm paranoid, but I know I'm right. My silhouette turns to ghosts at night. All ghosts turn into my silhouettes. To the flower of life and the smoke from a cigarette. We're all trapped in the world wide web, that's why it's the internet.
We are awake on your own, shadows turning to gold. We are awake on your own, shadows turning to gold.
You little vagabond and unforgettable parasite. Talk about you a sound dog and I know that we are done champion when it comes to sound quality.
Strength, love, honor, trust. That shit makes me wanna bust my ting on a bed for violating one of us. Take a king heart and then dip it in rage. Force a king to live in a cage. Make him a slave for minimum wage. Put death on his plate and then fill him with hate. This is the world that we live in today. All of our energy given away. Malevolent entities have been manufacturing enmity. We've been enemies for centuries. So what, bruv? What's that got to do with essentially, they want us all gone eventually. Alliance of defiance, the rise of the rebellious tribes. I'm dead into ride. What is life if you ain't ready to die? I'm trying to thrive. What's the sky if you ain't ready to fly? What kind of guy am I if I ain't ready to try? Don't you know? All smartphone screens are scrying mirrors. Don't you know? Where supreme beings ruled by lying lizards. Don't you know? My free eyes open, but I ain't crying rivers. Strength, love, honor, trust is all you need if you're riding with us. Strength, love, honor, trust. Strength, love, honor, trust. Strength, love, honor, trust. Strength, love, honor.
Now as I sit and wonder, waking up from my slumber, trying to free my mind from the spelling that man are under. Now I can see the clarity, actions with no disparity. Evil doers hiding the demons in the name of charity. All I need is honesty, honestly through this odyssey. Trust, love, honor, respect's a rare commodity. Integrity's a must in my presence, that's my policy. Guidance of the new generation, that's the monarchy. Gang, gang, if they ain't with it, let them hang. Knowledge is my weaponry, wisdom is what I bring.
Strength, love, honor, trust.
20, if that's I need freedom, that's a must. This is ebb and flow, cause and effect. Let them know, got these nooses round my people, them's neck. Let them go. Nowadays I watch while I step. You never know, cause your best friend could switch up the set and turn to foes.
Strength, love, honor, trust. Strength, love, honor, trust. Strength, love, honor, trust. Strength, love, honor, trust, strength, love, honor, trust, strength, love, honor.
They say I shoulda sell out to Illuminati. Throw away my zubi that I'm bunning on and party. Shoulda done a shot of rum, line of coke with Bacardi. I should put my shades on, step and get my wave on. Shouldn't get my brain on, moving like I'm acting smartly. I should be like Trayvon, not speaking up like Vagabinky, the brave one. Nah, I shoulda been happy with my chains on. I shoulda know about His Majesty, the same one. Coulda stopped World War II when he spoke. The one that took a sword to the house of the Pope. They think I shouldn't worry about that, but I should vote. The same ones that sell guns said I shouldn't smoke. A plant that never kills no one, it's like a joke. But it's not funny when nothing we are broke. And the government are making money from it like it's coke. Message in the paper painting me like I'm a failure and a villain cause I told. Duppy kill, I'll kill him on the rhythm, cut a throat. Cutting off heads when I'm spitting what I wrote. Something for the drillers and the realists giving hope. Bonafide upon a liar living in a cult. Going over heads, what I'm giving to the roads. Guess I shouldn't talk sense. I should give them what they know. I shouldn't drop it like Jeds with Vanessa on the phone. They think I shoulda sell out to Illuminati. Throw away my zubi that I'm bunning on and party. Shoulda done a shot of rum, line of coke with Bacardi. I should put my shades on, step and get my wave on. Shouldn't get my brain on, moving like I'm acting smartly. I should be like Trayvon, not speaking up like Vagabinky, the brave one. Nah, I shoulda been happy with my chains on. Yo. I listen to the wind when it speaks. I whistle when I sing to the streets. Not because they're listening to me. Nah, just because I'm thinking of a beat in my head while I'm walking from the beach. Feeling good, much better than I've been. More grounded, more time for the betterment of dreams. Tailoring my life, sewing up the seams. Raising like a tide, flowing like a stream. I can feel the vibe resonating in the air like steam. It's alive, gotta focus on the green. Cause nothing ain't free but a kiss from a queen. Or the little wisdom that she whispers to me. I give thanks cause not everyone's gifted to see what is hidden in sight. I'm reciting this rhythm of life on the mic, so you live it with me. Some spreading their lies so ridiculously. I can't stomach it, so I eat Leviticusly. I'm sitting with the apple bunning underneath the sycamore tree. Not a building in sight, disconnected from the city and spite. It's alright, come and sit and you'll see. Some caught up in a cycle that live miserably. And this peak, cause most stresses are invisible to see. And what's hurting someone else is just minimal to me. That's just the way it is, not a care for another man's kids, it's a trip. I listen to the wind when it speaks. I whistle and I sing to the streets. Not because they're listening to me. Nah, just because I'm walking on my own. I'm doing that instead of talking on the phone or staring at it like a drone. I'm just free and being in my zone. Just a being called a human, not a clone. Just real, clean clothes, no comb. Got a tablet and a couple smartphones in the backpack for the Instagram and the Snapchat. Gotta use that to promote rap. Pointing at the facts like a weather map. A lot of talking trash, I'm ahead of that. Nourishing the ones like a water tap, but without the chemicals and all of that. No fluoride, just pure vibes. No war hype, just foresight. No more lies, just raw rhymes. Talk more sense in 4 lines than what a lot of them said for the whole night. A lot can't see the real like there's no light. We're giving them sight, tell them hold tight. Walking upright, wearing all white. Giving insight, trying to ignite. A fire inside, trying to invite. Lost lions to the pride, to the winning side. Tell them to connect to the inner guy. Cause most outside just gonna live a lie. They're not gonna try, they'll just turn a blind eye to all the fool's rules they abide by. Move back mind, tell them bye-bye. Utilize the time, it'll fly by. Don't get caught in a sly lie. Make bigger plans, aim sky high. Envision what you need in your mind's eye. I motivate myself, listening to dry cry. Positive music is a rare find. If you're moving negative, you get air pipe. Knowledge is receding like a headline. It's deep, cause the DJs give it airtime. Even though it's weak, I spit peace on a strong beat. Harder than your favorite. Said he's hard, but he's in a vid wearing makeup. Don't follow these fools, live, get your cake up. They are helping you to bake bread like a baker, just giving you a lesson in how to be a faker. Trust nothing that you hear, and only half you see, beloved. Then you'll get somewhere near the truth. Truth's a deeper subject than what they've been showing on the news to mislead the public. Yeah. Let me tell you one thing, I ain't never been nothing more than a lost king. Had to run from a couple wars that I was in. Same times when a couple jaws never went gym. Take time, drop a couple jaws, peddling herbs and medicine. Something for the surface, searching for relevance. Bring a little life to the dead and the decadence. The code, the oaths to the popes and the presidents. The smoke screens are feeding the fiends. Hopes and dreams unevenly seen. It's a setup. They don't want me to hold my head up, so I'm fed up. Don't want to see my people get their bread up and develop. Gotta get up, gotta get it, gotta get out. Got a message to the devil, get the hell out. Before we get him, gonna dead him with the venom that I'm penning. It's a weapon. Spits like a beretta, but it's better. Hit him in the heart with every letter, but whatever. I ain't better than my brothers. They're more clever with the metas. I'm just dealing with the matters, how I get it. If I did it wrong, yeah, I might be apologetic, but it's still a song. And I know you're not gonna get it, but we get along. Divided, we fall together, we get very strong, provided it's all love. Is it all love? I'm appalled by the state of the world, so I'm binding it all up. Is it all out? Are we all stuck? Sometimes I lose myself and I act up. It's not act, but I'm just a man blood that's trying to man up. In this modern day trap with the trappers and crackers that wanna see man with the maggots at the end of the line, tied, chasing the carrots blind, wasting my time is a madness. Balance is what I'm trying to establish. Hasn't anything that I said entered your ear? If not, hear this, stop living in fear. Do what you said you were gonna do last year. Time doesn't wait, it's like a race. What you're looking for, standing there looking in your face, it's a metaphor. You will get put in your place if you're not in yours. It's just a matter of moments, not many more. We're not fooled by the bogusness anymore. Had my firstborn when I was 24. I need many more. I was stumbling, now I'm very sure, but still fumbling at times, humbling my mind. Take a deeper breath, energize my vibe, cause I like to rise. Drink some water, then get some exercise. It's all blessed. I lie, I've been gifted, so I bless the mic. It's uplifting for the rest of life. Sometimes switching for respect, cause I'm not indifferent from my rep. A good name's important, I reflect on what still stays dormant in your meds. I focus and then talk it from the chest to the youths, absorb it in the heads. They won't fight each other, they'll fight the feds. It's not about violence, just self-defense. It's the system that we need help against. We need help and strength, we all need to eat. And nobody ain't living on easy street. They said it's dog eat dog, but I don't eat the meat. But I still eat them seeds like they're a vegan treat. I still lyrically box and beat the beat up. So if you want beef, my beast, I'll be that. My giant me that. Some slicing in subliminals, I see that. Some tribeting up to the task, I'm idiot. Needing rehab, fiends that relapse. Need to relax, need to rethink. What's the reason why you thought that I and I were even? Everything in its time and it's not the season of lies. It's a time when the truth's appealing to the mind. It's magical. Are you one? Can't stop building bridges, you know. It's time to connect the dots, see? Yo. I woke up this morning to the sound of angels calling. Levels of conscience are rising, the system of Satan's falling. Every minute days are dawning, cities grow but nature's calling. Rivers flow to seas, trees grow from seeds and bumblebees are swarming. The Most High speaks to men but most of them won't heed the warning. A man can't see what's in his face if he's asleep and snoring. I'm not a sheep to slaughter, I'm more like a lion roaring. Got no time to sit and watch the news because I find it boring. I prefer to look for clues, it's my own mind that I'm exploring. Sitting down, breathing slow and reading on some tile flooring. Raindrops on my window pane, sound of Jaja's mercy pouring. I'm mastering this game, something like the airy scoring. Creation is the most magnificent, so I can't stop adoring. Babylon's main focus is destruction, I can't stop restoring. I'm motivating the like-minded, there's no time for stalling. My shining light of sun at age of 7 months was crawling. Love, mercy and wisdom is what I'll try installing. Tell stories about the ancestors that came before him. Teach to fight without fighting, not like mindless brawling. Nations fight against nations, it's a time of warring. One night I was walking, me and the Most High was talking. I always question Jar and call him when I need direction. Help to bring what's dark to light and let me see deception. Don't let Babylon the Great alter my perception. I don't want to live in a dream, like I'm in Inception. He said, son, I'll grant your prayer if it will ease your tension. Immediately I had to come to terms with my reflection. I saw the main politicians were corrupt with no exception. And the people walk the path that's paved with self-deception. Ignorance and misconception, stolen jewels in their collection. Secret schools with their election, rats will run with no direction. Bombs will fall with no objection, devils walk with no detection. 9/11 is a lesson, stories full of imperfection. Vaccination, death injections, more means of communication but more disconnection. More highways and intersections but much less introspection. More lies and discontentment, more wrongs brings more resentment. TV channels build attention, tell too many lies to mention. Flashing lights for my attention, they don't enter my dimension. Waiting for the right ascension, pressure builds the hypertension. More death causes more suspension. Lyrical acrobatic, spit bullets apiece just like an automatic. Gripping the mind like magic, to granny it's like a racket. I spit on the rhythm and I attack it. We light up the wicked just like a matchstick. The wicked can't match it, just lit up a fat split. They never took acid, strictly natural herb and that's it. To be positive my tactic, never believe anything I read that's written in black ink. It never been that dim, check it, yo. I'm a student, a sales promotion, controlling my own emotion. I'm moving like locomotion, my words are just like an ocean. Deep and I try involving the sheep and help them evolving. Many problems we're facing, let's come together to solve them. Many souls have been stolen, but they won't stop my devotion. I'm watching the House of Commons, I can't stand the commotion. I'm not involved in their argument, cussing, laughing in Parliament. Many secrets are harbouring, talking truth is a harder thing. Burning, looting and bartering, can't be harmed cause I'm smartening. I speak psalms to the fatherless, I'm not asking for pardoning. Secret handshakes and bargainings, my spars that they're targeting. Got no time to be arguing, I'll be smart till the saga ends. Judge our talks to the hearts of men, some are clowns and just laugh at them. Minds are blunt but I'm sharpening, seeing snakes in the grass again. If he's fake then I'm passing him. Paper chasing and hardship will make a slave of a starlet. Turn little Jane to a harlot, it's sad. I'm waiting for retribution, making my contribution, changing the institution, speaking my mind, debating, I'm practicing elocution. No, I'm not fussing and fighting, I'm trying to find a solution. Finding it hard to breathe because of all this smoke and pollution. Talking truth to the nation, won't pay the church's donation. I'm staying true with creation, build a righteous formation where love and life's the foundation. A humble organization, running herb like cremation. Amongst I'm finding salvation, I'm in a time of inflation. Money causes frustration, children suffer starvation while we give in to temptation and take no time for frustration. Or Marcus Garvey's quotation, more lies, more loss and taxation. Most I bless you with patience, so I'll endure the duration. Changing planet migration, I'm not a slave to a mason or afraid of Freddy or Jason. Open eyes when I'm aging, I'm like a vinyl rotating, I'm love. Are you one? We say, are you one? You say, I am one. We say, are you one? You say, I am one. And that's all we need to know. No, we say, are you one? You say, I am one. We say, are you one? You say, I am one. We say, are you one? You say, I am one. And that's all we need to know. No, so Rastafari, love and life, see it? Psychology, I mean, you find a spin. Magic to stay in tune. Love.
This is you.
Well
broke as a joke, we got nothing to live for. Tired of seeing nothing when we open the fridge door. We link more cats than we do yats, this shit's raw. Your stats go up and down like a seesaw. We're piss poor, stuck in a shit position. And to top it all off, these rich people start snitching. So it's hard to hustle. To stay alive, you gotta love the struggle. Kids are shooting guns, not throwing up their knuckles. The game's evolved, I've seen man exchange their soul for Big P. I could have done it too, but that just isn't me. I'm comfortable in the streets. I ain't in a rush to blow and become one of them hoes in the industry. Fuck that. My generation ain't having it. Show us opportunities, we're grabbing it. We're hungry. Most of us can't turn to dad or mumsy for money, cause they're broke too. This shit ain't even funny. Thinking about Malcolm X, I never met him, but who cares? I show enough respect. You know I'm fucking scared, smoking weed, puffing Gretz and sipping Hennessy, ready to ride on my enemies. Fuck my life, I'ma die eventually, so I'ma do some crazy shit to make sure they remember me. I'm free crazy titch, fuck police, fuck your snitch and the judge. You know them cunts never wanna see us rich. They get jealous when they see the whips we're sitting in. Top down, they got a frown, they know the kids glistening. I talk to God, but still continue to live in sin. It makes no sense, like guys who go gym and still ain't hench. I'm over 10 CDs deep. You need to get your rep and respect up. You can't see me, G. I smoke a big tree and end up in the sky. I'm the best that ever did it. You won't admit it till I die. The pain and struggle, have to maintain and hustle. The people that hurt you the most are the ones that say they love you. Most artists get extorted, some are even paying double. But my circle's tight, so I stay way away from trouble. Edmonton's like a maze, I'm just trying to solve the puzzle. There ain't no opportunity, the government give us fuck all. But it's cool, I don't need help, I'ma get it myself. I know these Nazis will rather see us going crazy in the cell. Fuck them. I never really followed the law. It's always been fuck the police since the age of 4, waging war with the system. Trapped in Great Britain where they support pop but ignore man that spit wisdom. It's sickening, the game's changed, but who am I to complain? You don't deserve sunshine if you can't survive the rain. Take that in. The Lord put me on this earth to ball. I'm only 5'7", feeling like I'm 10 feet tall.
Doesn't matter if you have 10,000 followers or just a few hundred. Print on demand is an amazing way to make money online, whether you're a YouTuber,
Twitcher, Instagrammer, politician, musician, artist, gym owner,
or even a dog. With print on demand, you can sell customized t-shirts, hats, and other items without worrying about printing, packing, shipping, or even paying for your products up front. Visit Shopify.com to learn more about print on demand and start your free trial today.
Yo, get me. Yeah, bits. Come on. Yo, no justice, no peace. They ain't bad when it's on their phone, please. When I eat, all my brothers get a piece. Stay high, car brothers smoke trees. Stay high. No justice, no peace. They ain't bad when it's on their phone, please. And while we steady putting work up in the street, snitch niggas be working with the beast. Pebble bits of both, trying to dodge broke. We never lost hope, we never had hope. I come from where the struggle is real, where if you ain't grinding, you ain't guaranteed your next meal. Where I'm from, the bros don't do romance. They just wanna grab big bums with both hands. And when their sister wows out, they turn savior. Like it weren't you promoting this behavior. Wife and child's I prioritize. I see myself in my son's eyes. So I don't wish I can go back in time. I'ma set the situation, make sure that my son shine. And I'ma only tell him one time. Never chat to the one time. Cause we and them ain't friend. They want us locked in the pen. They're trying to make sure we don't come off the ends. Dog, I don't wanna see no jeweler. I'd rather put down for my son and for my daughter. I wanna give the world to my son.
And I wanna get the sun to my daughter. Dog, I whip work up in the water. I can do 1 into 1 or get a Z back from a daughter. I'm honest, like, I would never shoot, yeah, if I'm taking anything, it's everything, so just corner. Word to the corner that I work.
2 o'clock in the morning, man,
Yo.
get me.
Yeah.
Bits. Come on.
Yo, no justice, no peace. They ain't bad when it's on their phone, please. When I eat, all my brothers get a piece. Stay high, car brothers smoke trees. Stay high. No justice, no peace. They ain't bad when it's on their phone, please. And while we steady putting work up in the street, snitch niggas be working with the beast. Pebble bits of both, trying to dodge broke. We never lost hope, we never had hope. I come from where the struggle is real, where if you ain't grinding, you ain't guaranteed your next meal. Where I'm from, the bros don't do romance. They just wanna grab big bums with both hands. And when their sister wows out, they turn savior. Like it weren't you promoting this behavior. Wife and child I prioritize. I see myself in my son's eyes. So I don't wish I can go back in time. I'ma set the situation, make sure that my son shine. And I'ma only tell him one time. Never chat to the one time. Cause we and them ain't friend. They want us locked in the pen. We're trying to make sure we don't come off the ends. Dog, I don't wanna see no jeweler. I'd rather put down for my son and for my daughter. I wanna give the world to my son. And I wanna give the sun to my daughter. Dog, I whip work up in the water. I can do 1 into 1 or get a Z back from a daughter. I'm honest, like, I would never shoot, yeah, if I'm taking anything, it's everything, so just corner. Word to the corner that I work. All them man are bitches, all them man for wear a skirt. I done mine, I can tell you about the dirt, but I'm humble over here with just my balls and my word, dog. I'm comfy on this corner. Them boys sweaty like they sitting in a sauna, dog. I'm comfy on my ones. Cause most these wannabe killers are really just them informers. Me and my troops hopping out of coops, cause they question man's badness, man's about to get them proof. Henny and a boost, that's the juice for man to get loose, then do up the booth, cause they know anytime I touch the mic, dog, that's fire. Plus I spit the truth, cause I've never been a liar. White youths out SC ask about me round Briar. Cause I get about, I know road like tire, dog. I work these roads, cause I know my roots. Grew my hair into locks, cause I know my roots. Yeah, we kicked off doors, I still got my boots. Why these fake rappers lying, telling free the truth? Blood, I work these roads, cause I know my roots. Grew my hair into locks, cause I know my roots. Yeah, we kicked off doors, I still got my boots. Why these fake rappers lying, telling free the truth? Yo.
Big up everybody up in the place. Your boy Sniper, you know, the big Saturday stream, looking the dead. Meaning it's only gonna be a quick one today. You know what I'm saying? We got out. We going to Chevelle's team. Get me? Where we at? What the hell? Oh yeah. This one's for Axum still. No? Nice. Big up yourself. Big up everyone, man. Tuned in. Big up Triller. Get me? Come on.
Oh, big on. Big up, bro.
Whoa. So you know what man's lean.
Jeez.
Lean up. Brother die before I let him hit me with a vaccine.
Hey.
Mandatory for everybody. You know what I mean? What I mean? Best be ready to die if you wanna be free. Big spit for that. Whoa. So you know what man's lean. Lean up. Keep ties with the mob. Stay on job for the peace. MOB. Why would I run? If I got my machine, best be ready to die if you wanna be free.
Dogs jumping out the van like Scrappy and put 6 nines to your face like Takashi. I was in N with dubs like Dappy, getting trappy in the tracky, make a hot cat, take the day off and turn cappy. Squaring with a baddie, with a fatty, puffing Cali. You're actually a patty, the chatty on the lappy. I was aggy in the nappy. I went from snatching bags with Danny to waiting in the alley with a bally and a strally. I ain't here to dilly dally. Tell Sally, give me the loot and keep the fanny. I smoke wacky to keep from going scatty. I'm from where they pull up on Ducatis and get clappy. I ain't got no fire in the booth for no Grammys. No hardest bars or songs for champagne pappy. So I get love from the yardies and the ackies, Marlies and the paddies. If you're true, holler at me.
Big spliff for that. Whoa. So you know what man's lean.
Lean up.
Blood, I'd rather die before I let him hit me with a vaccine.
Never that.
Mandatory for everybody. You know what that mean?
What that mean?
Best be ready to die if you wanna be free. Big spliff for that. Whoa. So you know what man's lean.
Lean up.
Keep ties to the mob. Stay on job for the peace. M.O.B. Why would I run? If I got my machine, when I got that,
best be ready to die if you wanna be free. Oh, they're closing in. Look. They poison the water and sky. Now they're hurting my brethren with needles. Best be ready to die just to protect your people. They're coming with all type of evil. So right now knowledge is vital. Cause if you can't see the rival, you must be living with your thumbs in your eyeballs. I push weed in a big spliff and I burn mine eye tool. Pure. I need all that ganja, cause they tryna test my gangster. They been tryna take my life and now they wanna vax my youth. I soon load up with the gang and go crazy like Splacker Cuckoo. Big spliff for that. Whoa. So you know what man's lean.
Lean up.
Blood, I'd rather die before I let him hit me with a vaccine.
never that.
Mandatory for everybody. You know what that mean?
What that mean?
Best be ready to die if you wanna be free. Big spliff for that. Whoa. So you know what man's lean.
Lean up. Keep ties to the mob. Stay on job for the peace. M.O.B. Why would I run? If I got my machine, when I got that.
Best be ready to die if you wanna be free. Best be ready to die if you wanna be free.
Red pill trill. Why would I care? If every black actor got $1 billion from Black Panther. My friend's mum died from mad cancer. The YGs let off the door in a chicken shop across the road from Santander. And they actually think that that's gangster. Genocidal like Rwanda. So fuck Disney and Wakanda. Why would I care? If Paige was eating Alicia. In the streets we got beef with the Reaper. Trying to put my peeps in a sleeper. Why would I care? If Chip squash beef with Bugsy Malone. Pigs still trying to find drugs in my own. Tap me chatting to the plug on the phone. Why would I care about a monkey top from H&M? From a fuck you block in a crazy ends. No love for cops, the Jakes hate my friends. Lock my cousin up, gave him 8 to 10. He'll probably never be the same again. So why would I care? If Sneako really turned into a cat. Another OG that turned into a rap. Postcode beef turned my flats into a rap. So why would I care about who got an Oscar, who got a Grammy? It's not helping me get food for my family. I don't give a fuck, I'm rude and I'm anti. Kids think they're sick cause they listen to Lowski. This ain't a game, it isn't Shinobi. No comebacks, you get dipped with a pokey. So why would I care whose team lifted a trophy? Why would I care if Wiley accepted the MBE? I'd rather hit the Queen with an M16. Burn up Parliament, I make them scream. Why would I care if every black actor got $1 billion for Black Panther? My friend's mum died from mad cancer. The YGs let off the door in the chicken shop.
Take the guesswork out of mobile photography with the new Oppo Find X5 Pro. Capture moments that are bright and rich in detail, no matter the time of day. Relive the moments that matter with Google Photos.
Come on, going out to the yeah crew. Don't know. Big up yourself. Jeez.
Yeah, this is England, green line of etiquettes, manners and disciplines. 3 lagans on shirts of the citizens, but there's no lagans here, there's a significance. Yeah, this is England, hard-working men working hard for their dividends. Run out of work, now they can't find enough of this money stuff, so they just blame it on immigrants. Yeah, this is England, the kingdom, the land that I'm living in. Monarchy, empire, and new millennium. Man, it's so mad, man, I'm telling them. Yeah, this is England, poverty, politics, turn man to simpleton. Single mum out looking food for her little one. Daddy's gone cause of how Babylon systems run. Yeah, this is England, Buckingham Palace and strawberries in Wimbledon. Bankers, crack addicts, fanatics and vagabonds. Tell me what problems am I the one with all of this? Why is it me that they're tripping on? All just for this herbal tea that I'm sipping on. Someone silence to talk about the medicine. They can't cut off this mic that I'm blessing on. Yeah, 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 this is England, America's daddy, the evident number one, the international immigrant, the culture, the great, the benevolent. When people debate over everything, sing songs of praise about the slaves that they never been. It's funny how people here never think about the words of the song that they forever sing. Yeah, this is England. Council estates with no divisions in. Just people pissed off with the richer men. The people that's ripping off each of them. Can't keep fooling them up like the preacher them. Bum politicians, not one of them speak for them. You feel it, then turn up the speaker then. And then free up, break out of the sheeple pen. And go look for relief. Burn up a fire, I light up the sheets. How they gon' fight you for finding some peace? What Haile Selassie guy said in his speech. He said that it's not a is, it's becoming. Words for the wise to stop nuclear bombing. The man that taught man to be all that he can. Overstand before it ends in the bank. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah,
Welcome to Scoop. Oh, wow.
Oh, my goodness.
Is huge. That gives us a champion.
Darkness, for your scarabs up. Yo. Fuck firing shots, gang signs, bank clans, box wiring cots, tap lines, flat lines, drugs buying rocks, they bang nines, hang vans, slums acquire costs, this is mankind, man blind, pump supply, stops that the hood dry, the wood die, drunk pariahs, watch they push by, watch the wood dry, concrete coliseums etched out a landscape, driven by man's hate, killers with mandates, filling his handshakes, billing with sandpigs, living in crime states like tuna and spam steaks, my flow cascades, bars stunners like black shades, my guard of gunners like black spades, kids with cars and fat blades, waste away days in the haze of the flash shade. I touch the page and leave your back cave. Got your frame and leave your hat shaved.
Murder versus leaving your mind astonished. What's the cost of speaking your violent logic? Certain person even beside the coffin. He is beaten, called this the reaper's offering. He fell upon his own blade. Bodies bleeding upon his cold page. His soul raised to closed gates. Lost on his bitter trail. The cost of a brutal mail. Shot rocks for the bigger cells. Embossed in the ring of braille. Hand searching forbidden tablets. Another devil with death lurking written.
Splash and blade cut a cold man from the hidden grave. Beast mimic of rage, spider in the bat's cave. Hideous bloodlust, jacket thoughts in the fog. You leak fluid to the gods. Wooden logs, patriot palm, Wing Chun wooden dummy. Tesla invoke the ghost of the ancient mummy. Raise the shaman, demon gate protection. Tesla, bloodstained astral projection.
Facts and rhyme books, archives got a load.
Sling a complimentary verse, watch your head explode. Intercontinental champ, call me Bret Hart. Strike with the sharpshooter, fast dash your dead darts. Remarkable malice within my verbal web. I pull a gram theft before I turn and beg. They said the method of my pen speed's unexplained. While I was lounging with a floozy getting tongue and brain.
Bow, seal some quartz, got the mind sealed with divine will. Reach it and soul and sharp to the pine, it'll make the blind feel. Crucify my heart, hit the rhyme, skill, leave your mind, pill lines, kneel when I part. So you sign the scroll, beside me, silent, still in the dark with the bars. My catharsis turns to the most straight from the heart. I'm charged like Zulu warriors, marching, carve you in half. Say your prayers with mind flares, creating, cremating parts. Your clip, the devil's dance, your soul merged with the stars.
Metamorphic orphans, explore the multiverse, make extraterrestrials disperse from orbits. Words torturous, 1,000 dagger cuts, then dipped in your own excrement, secreting from your gut, you fucked up. Power drive your facial features, silverback gorilla vicious, brain matter devoured by stab creatures. Scatter the data of muscular particles on windscreens, fast projectiles, bitch, and hopefully the weak spleen. Fuck up.
CD, where it's circular soil, your PG, we're subversive and raw. Rest retreat from the heaters when the missiles are drawn. You fuck boys can't spit, wish you never been born. Burst through the door, CD, where it's circular soil, your PG, we're subversive and raw. Rest retreat from the heaters when the missiles are drawn. You fuck boys can't spit, wish you never been born.
With William Hill Acca Club, bet £20 or more on Accas throughout the week and get a £5 free bet. It's who you play with, William Hill.
The universe birthed my essence in solid flesh, placing a convoluted path beneath my feet, cheating on its steps. My son is bled for brothers chasing profit but promised death. Coffins the pain, bottomless relations make the offerings. Mama placing a face across the basin in your hollow chest. Check the prophet rocking Pharaonic dress, shutting half bar volumes of blessed. Red string entangled vegetation, scale digits filling for education. Jail figures build up a reputation, shells ringing across the devil's pavement. Cortex is dripping like wet paints. Cooking corpse next to your left brain. Lives dirty, brother, but death stains. Chest pains. How long we caught inside the cycle where death reigns? How long they hide a pride in our next chain? Just strange. Checking for checkmates. The devil set up the chess game. Women depressed beneath the depths of their breastplate, searching for something love and down. But brothers don't know what love is now. Brothers hustle to touch 100,000. They only love to count. Only love them but plug their.
Yo, we ain't fucking with no hoes that fuck about with that Trenton, but these hoes find themselves in the trenches for this sausage. Riding with some bosses that ain't in it taking losses, but we slanging and we banging, trapping for this profit. Dog, I hear them talking, someone tell them stop it. Come on dog, quiet, something grumming, but don't get caught out on your wallets. Cause grumming will get vicious for that wallet. Stop it, can't stop it. Dog, I gotta chop it. Dropped a note on the landlord just to stop that pussy knocking. Had mumsy questioning where I got it, but it's more what I gotta do not to lose it. Rap or a trap back, trap or a snap back. So I rap product cause music ain't brought no wallet in. All this trapping, I gotta do it. Cause if I'm honest, I ain't got no faith in music. These hoes wanna suck a man dry. Blood, they used to look at man like peasants, but now we winning, looking like we rolling seven. From the nights I spent in Trevor trying to get a little potter. Cause they always on us, so we switching where we daughter. Savage from school, kept the ball in my locker. You can ask Riley, kept the ball in my locker. Blood, I couldn't die a proper, tell these kitties I got proper. Start with the yay, bring the water to a boil. Then turn that powder into oil. Line ringing, gotta tell these kitties, wait, keep your eye on the stove, cause that product might spoil. Then it's on to the B, syringes and foil. Treat them proper, cause them kitties never loyal.
And these back streets got her as fuck. Tell a young boy the streets ain't got nothing for you. And to these fuck boys talking everything but money, I ignore you, I ain't got nothing for you. No sympathy, nigga, it's never poor you. Shit, nobody had me when I was poorly. I was 15 on the train up to Country Key, smoked out the yard, gave a little nigga nosebleed. Say they know the name, but they don't know the story. It's all drugs, hoes, guns, something Corey. Nigga, for this glory, had to get gory. Slept on the floor in yards, man wouldn't step in, take bread off me. Fuck that, are you crazy? I'd rather dead before I let him. Doggy, I was good in the hood, then OTZ stretching. Free my brother V, they got him bench pressing. He'll be home soon, dog, we ain't stressing. And when he's home, he'll be locking off the section, had to lose everything, then get it all back. To clock it's all up front, ain't nobody got my back. Doggy, it's a fact, you gon' wake up with fleas if you lie down with rats. Large up my axe, that gon' run up in court and wreck theirs with an axe. Blood, I'd rather buy a strap than get taxed. Can't go broke, and I won't go broke. Can't taught myself how to pedal bike and draw cats. We don't play the same field, cause you're just no match for me and my brothers. Dog, you could go and ask my fucking school friends how drug money got me out of fake kickers. I used to wear my older cousins' hand-me-downs, but it's product that they hand me now. Shit, if music don't boss me, my lines ringing, dog, I'll be out there on my fucker up in leases, linking geezers, cleaning beaters, bagging up grub on them tanitas. Yeah. It's all mad. Black box TV, mad. Yeah. You get me? Salute mine, fuck yours. Mixtape coming at you very soon. Yeah? Look out for the visuals. They're coming at you. Yeah. Shout out the gang. Yo. I got purpose, dog, I'm on a mission. And you can't roll if you don't see the vision. Cause I ain't trying to be nobody's hero. I scream fuck the law, dog, and free the villains. There's hella violence, so there's hella sirens. Poverty turned good youths into tyrants. So there's hella joggings and there's hella drillings. Yeah, it's hella sticky round them council buildings. Young boys eyeing up your rose gold before they snatch that. They gon' ask you, what's your postcode? There's a river of tears running through these bits, cried by mums that lost sons over stupidness. Young boys in the manor getting stupid rich. And there's young boys in the manor that be shooting shit. Warriors and hustlers, we need these talents. Cause it's not just peace, brother, we need balance. They serve kitties by the corner, they serve kitties on the stairs. They serve kitties in the alley, they'll serve them anywhere. The man them gotta eat, they out there on their feet. Survival is a must, and liberty ain't cheap. And I know violations ain't easily let go, but try and live righteous cause you reap what you sow. The food comes, then it goes. Cause these kitties bring phones and we 10 toes the road with our eyes wide for an op. Yo, don't let them know you're low. Keep your chin up when you bop. Don't claim to be something that you're not. Cause we're guided by truth and every liar gets clocked. I've dodged death more times than I've lived, but no regrets, dog, it is what it is. Cause we went where we went and we did what we did. Yeah, hush, shush, cause we don't give info to the pigs. Yeah, still wicked with the wordplay. And every day I celebrate life and still turn up on my birthday. You see, loyal to the soil, man's earthy. My body is my temple. I don't need no church day. I burn ganja and I burn sage. Cause that's how I hold my meds. And then I transcend the physical. That's word to my dreads. And a wizard probably scaring from them feds. With my middle finger out the wind dizzy. Yo, I got brothers, not friends. Shout Grizz, Swizz and Jim Busy. Shout my bros trying to free us from their mental chains. And shout my bros that do dirt and then say no names. Shout my queens that love God, wave and love twerk. Still get up in the morning and find themselves at work. Shout my bros that know all the freedom fighters' names. And shout my bros that just love to wear chains. Shout my queens that can cook her good food, kick knowledge and she got a mad brain. Gang shit only. Gang shit only. Gang shit only. Gang shit only. Yo, tell love come link me. Tell truth come link me. Negativity can go. Don't ring my phone. Gang shit only. Gang shit only. Yeah. I'm good with that.
Purchase your tracks today.
Them boy sniper.
Yo, her eyes are black pearls, staring at the map of the world. All in black, cameras snapping my world. Glad she's a girl, the one anointed. May that's the name that she shall appoint with. Supreme justice cut from 48 laws of royal scripts. Kings from Kemet, caught for coiling bits in the courtroom, defended by a lawyer's lips. From the patriot laws that hold the poor orphanage. Pale horses tread over hell's fortress. Left countries in debt in exchange for resources. Boardroom meetings discussing events that must take place in every fourth season. Atrocities of war, treason, misled soldiers and vets. Stab opium in their flesh, whores and sex, sonos and texts. This world's cornered in debt. Terraform us through what we consume. Poisonous foods, cancer cells spread. The population agendas ahead. I fled a jackal, busting shots through the capital, hoping I can catch the devil with this Adam's apple. For the psychological madness we adapt to. Yeah. For the psychological madness we adapt. Lord have it, I swore to slay every devil on this planet, causing havoc, torturous sadness, torment and madness, caught in its raptures, drawings are graphic. I swim the atlas, putting my thoughts on the canvas. Lord have it, I swore to slay every devil on this planet, causing havoc, torturous sadness, torment and madness, caught in its raptures, drawings are graphic. I swim the atlas, thoughts on the canvas, taped on the wire, raining fire, satin alien robes, blast my way through a pagan's abode. Spirits catch me with a touch, hotter than brimstone, 6 looking like clones, gripping my coat. Wonderful light skin tone seduced me, named Lucy, said she admired the truth I speak. A fine harlot with a plate between her knees. She lured baby fathers with bloody dances to set up some rape charges. Some even got their brains blasted. Mysterious cases, bottle-shaped waist. She walks to the lowest center of gravity, trying to grab it with the essence of a woman's worth. Pulling my shirt, whispers in ears to full her with sperm. She lost for me to give her what she couldn't return. Pure blasphemy. Before I knew it, she turned and asked me. Her marble floors turn to fire, just reflections of desire. Images jump out the frame in attempt to pierce my entire with spears. She said the words I speak is relevant every 24,000 years. The next come around is near, spoken by prophets, pharaohs and witch doctors. A glitch in the equinox is upon us. Your death is a promise which has to be made to the higher forces we pray. Outside display the portal in space, black clouds and cyclone winds. Sing Orion's hymn before I snap the gin in his forehead. And studied the science of this dream before I woke from this torment. Studied the science of this dream before I woke from this torment. Lord have it, I swore to slay every devil on this planet, causing havoc, torturing sadness, torment and madness, caught in its raptures, drawings are graphic. I swim the atlas, putting my thoughts on the canvas. Lord have it, I swore to slay every devil on this planet, causing havoc, torturing sadness, torment and madness, caught in its raptures, drawings are graphic. I swim the atlas, thoughts on the canvas. Yo, the beast is trying to annihilate the young seeds. Aspartame fluorides within the foods we eat. Save the babies, save the babies. The beast is trying to annihilate our young seeds. Aspartame fluorides within the foods we eat. Save the babies, please.
Yes. You know how the thing set. Your boy Sniper in the building. Where my mic there? Sorry. Yes, big up 9E4. Come on. My big sis. Jeez. Right. We're not even playing around. Wagwan, we say here hellos and all that. What you saying, Triller?
Chilling, bro. Just waiting for the game, bro. Tottenham, Liverpool. You know how we do.
I know.
It's gonna be. Bro, I don't even want to watch it, bro. That's how nervous I am right now. I said that.
Yeah. I think the games when I watch them, we end up losing. So
that's what I'm
I've
saying,
got this
bro.
thing about not watching it, and then about watching the score. Then when it gets to a level where you're winning, then you turn it. I tune in. Like, yeah. This game's already won.
Though. It's sort of like how I look at live streaming. Yeah, it's like, you know, when you watch back a live stream, it's not the same as watching it when it's live. You know what I mean? It's like and it's the same as a football match. Like, you know what I mean? You just want to watch it while it's happening. So yeah, I don't know, man. See what going on.
Sweet. All right, man. I got this one because on the cover, it had the same symbol as Sif. Yeah, I was like, oh, that's interesting. Yeah, and they say, why is pagan booming in Europe and beyond? I'm like, it's only 11 minutes, but let's start, man. Let's get this work.
Yeah. You know, Sif's like a Valhalla kind of guy, innit? He's into that.
I know, but people have mentioned the symbol before, and obviously, it kind of reminds me of something, but I didn't understand the relevance. But This might be
Doesn't
interesting.
it look a little bit like similar to one of those German football team kind of symbols, like with those? I don't know, like it's top of my head shit. Yeah.
It's like a little bit of a messed up swastika. You know what I'm saying? So,
okay.
Let's see what these pagans are dealing with, mate. Pagan Europeans, mate. And then I was going to answer Badmaster's question. You get me? I had a little question posed for Badmaster Mud. But let's play this first.
In school, learning about the ancient gods worshipped by the Greeks, Romans, Vikings, or the Egyptians, I always wondered how just one new religion could entirely flip a society on its head in only a matter of generations. And I wondered if the old gods were truly dead to this world for good. Polytheists, occultists, pagans, heathens, when spreading throughout Europe and the world, a few centuries after the crucifixion of Christ, Christians had a few names for this loose affiliation of people who still held tradition to their ancestral religions, and seemingly the last practitioner of these ancient beliefs died long ago. Or did they? It would come as a surprise to many, as it did to me, that there is a growing segment of people, and definitely not an insignificant amount, who are unironically reverting back to the old religions of their ancestors from thousands of years ago. But why is this the case? There are many reasons for this massive and global paganistic or occultist revival, but who exactly is a pagan? What do they believe and where do they live? Keep in mind, this video is obviously not trying to promote any religious belief, merely an analysis of a growing and fascinating demographic trend that is impacting millions worldwide. According to some estimates, European neo-paganism is the fastest growing religion in the United Kingdom, France, Portugal, Denmark, and, you guessed it, the United States of America. But when did this trend really start to take off? Well, the term pagan is an umbrella term that describes a wide variety of beliefs and traditions, although when discussing such subjects, a more accurate term would be occultist, although many often use these interchangeably, but there are major differences. Occultism includes groups like Druids, Wiccans, Satanists, as well as European neo-pagans, such as followers of the Old Norse religion, who have been branded as Odinists by some, or the Old German followers known as Asatruans or simply heathens, Slavic followers known as Rodnovers, Romanians known as Zalmoxians, or Estonian, Latvian, and Lithuanian followers known as Taraists, Dievturai, and Romuvans, respectively. And although among European neo-pagans the designations are largely linked to ethnic or ancestral heritage, there is significant blending of these paganistic beliefs and practices, with many identifying as simply generally pagan or occultist, not subscribing to any specific god or deity, and the number of universally accepted morals, values, or mythology of this group are few to none. Now, contrary to what you may be thinking, the Wiccans of today actually have virtually nothing to do with the so-called witches of the 17th century Salem witch trials, wherein around 24 people were accused of witchcraft or occultism and sentenced to death, although this has largely been exaggerated with modern cinema and educational curriculum. The modern religion of Wicca was actually started in the 20th century in England, but the reason they are classified as paganistic religious believers is because they worship the old gods of Stone Age Europeans, worshiping a single or multiple deities who are male and or female. And despite earning the reputation of devil worshippers, spinsters, and tricksters, they actually have very little to do with the so-called witches of early America. And although heavily mythologized and romanticized in American culture, the Norse, Roman, or Greek gods are more than just fiction to many neo-pagans, although many do not literally believe in all the mythological stories passed down from their ancestors. One thing that nearly all modern occultists have in common today is their acknowledgement of the importance of being in tune with both their ancestors and oftentimes the very earth itself. And for this reason, they may find themselves having commonalities with traditional animistic beliefs from many people groups around the world. And in fact, many similarities have been drawn to Hinduism or Zoroastrianism by modern academics. However, despite their claims of worshiping the old gods of their ancestors, pagan groups today are considered to be a New Age religion, as the vast majority of groups in Europe lost their pagan faith many generations ago, and it has only been recently that modern practitioners have revived the movement. European neo-pagans and other occultist believers can come from any religious or non-religious background, although they most commonly come from Christian households, much to the chagrin of local church leaders, many of whom often conflate or regard any form of neo-paganism with Satanism or devil worship. Regardless, it's quite common for many modern pagans to identify as some denomination of Christian as well, or incorporate elements of Christianity into their practice, or vice versa, practicing Christianity with paganistic elements, although many aspects of modern Christianity already have ancient pagan origins, seen in many Christian holidays such as Christmas, Easter, or Halloween, the latter of which actually has no biblical origin whatsoever and was originally purely a Celtic pagan holiday before being rebranded as All Saints or All Hallows Day by Irish Catholic immigrants arriving in the United States. Now, it is quite clear that among European ethno-religious neo-pagans, they hold strong beliefs regarding tradition and ancestral veneration, which tends in many, though not all, to have a strong conservative lean without a doubt. However, among other non-ethno-religious designations, such as Wiccans, Druids, Satanists, or general occultists, it's actually been found that they have a strong left lean, at least in the United States, where Pew Research claims that over 40% lean Democrat as opposed to only 20% Republican. In addition, it's been found that practitioners of modern European neo-paganism are overwhelmingly male, while the latter group of occultists are overwhelmingly female, which further explains the political persuasions of these different groups, with the European neo-pagans favoring tradition, order, and stability, with other occultists showing strong support.
You see it, Triller?
I see it. I see it.
Yeah, you see it. That's the symbol, yeah?
Yeah, on the one on the right, yeah.
Yeah, straight up and down. I'm like, oh shit, mud. That's interesting. What's this? You know what I mean? That's why he's acting like that. But yeah, we kind of guessed. Anyway, but yeah, that's all I was trying to say. I was like, right, I saw that right on the cover, right? Saw it on the cover of the video. And I was like, okay, let me see what's going on.
And it's 3 triangles as well, which is like, you know, what that's symbolic for, right? I mean, the triangle and the 3. So yeah, interesting.
Well, since they got both of them in the same kind of picture, it must relate or something.
And
How many triangles is there? How many triangles is there? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, mud. Anyway, let me play it.
Support for progressive values and inclusion. And according to unofficial estimates, the vast majority of the American neo-pagan community, not including shamanism, Wiccans, or Satanists, is 97% European in origin, which is unsurprising seeing how European neo-pagan religions are very heavily tied with their ancestral homeland, and when including Wiccans, Satanists, and other non-ethno-religious pagan designations, Europeans are still well overrepresented at over 88%, but not quite as heavily. Judging from the responses I received from my recent channel census and the 2017 channel census, around 40% of self-described European neo-pagans identify as ethnic nationalists, while 20% straight up identify as National Socialist, which is an order of magnitude 3 to 4 times greater than the general public, and this can be traced back to pagan and occultist beliefs held by and practiced by many high-ranking officials in the Nazi Party in the 30s and 40s, although it would be beyond slanderous to associate this affiliation with the entirety of the European neo-pagan community. And although these numbers may not be perfect because it was an internet survey, it's still very clear that neo-pagans skew heavily towards the right, politically speaking, being the only religious group in my survey where a majority of adherents were either right or hard right-wing, although interestingly there was a slight cluster towards the hard left as well, leaving quite the perplexing inverse bell curve. Now, I have seen a couple sources claiming that among European neo-pagans in the world, a majority describe themselves as left-leaning, and only a tiny minority, 1%, are far-right, which personally I find incredibly difficult to believe, as unless my channel just so happens to attract 100% of the far-right pagan community, which, you'd be the judge of that, and the methodology was flawed. Although only 2 to 3% of my audience strictly identifies as either pagan, Wiccan, or Satanist, the number who claimed some affiliation with these occult movements as a secondary religion is easily double this amount at over 5%, as many identify as both atheist and Satanist, or Protestant and Odinist, and the largest occultist designations were Norse, German, and Slavic paganism, all at under 1% each. Although again, when including those who identify with these groups as a secondary religion, these percentages greatly increase. Among Europeans and areas with a high European diaspora worldwide, the number of neo-pagans and occultists is well into the millions, with estimates wildly, and I do mean wildly, varying, with a high estimate of perhaps 7 million, including 2 million in both the Americas and Eastern Europe. To give a bit of context, this is still only 0.3% of the population in the Western world, but is still around the same number of Buddhists, and this would place neo-paganism in the top 10 religions practiced in the West, although keep in mind this is a multitude of different traditions, beliefs, and identities rolled up into one, so it is a bit disingenuous to simply classify this diverse bunch under the loose umbrella term of neo-pagan. In Europe, although estimates vary extremely, we can get a general estimate for most ethnic groups in the continent. In Eastern Europe, Russians have the largest number and percentage of occultists, especially in the European half and in Russian diaspora groups in the Baltic and elsewhere, while in Western Europe, by far the largest percentage of occultists is in Iceland, up to 2% of the population, and smaller numbers in the rest of Scandinavia, the UK, and Germany. In the overseas European diaspora, there are large numbers in America, South Africa, and elsewhere in the Anglosphere, as well as there even being a small Roman pagan revivalist community in Latin America. Even so, the largest occultist communities in the United States are in the northern and northeast regions of the country, such as Massachusetts, New York, New Jersey, Minnesota, Maryland, and other areas of New England, which have generally established themselves as much more secular than the so-called Bible Belt in the South. Keep in mind, although not all of these are necessarily classified as neo-pagan groups, the Caucasian and Ural regions have the highest proportion of pagans in or around Europe, although being on the fringes of the continent, most of these groups do not identify with, nor do they fall into the same patterns as the European neo-pagans, meaning they generally don't have some of the same nationalist or traditionalist views. Perhaps even more fascinating, though, is the fact that there's also been a revival of many other religious beliefs around the world, such as the worship of the ancient Egyptian gods known as Kemetism, or of the Sumerian or Mesopotamian gods known as Muism, the latter of which has actually become quite popular in Iceland. And although further research is certainly needed on this subject and the vast and complex nuances surrounding it, the neo-pagan or occultist community is definitely starting to take shape in the Western world, somewhat filling in the hole left in our so-called post-religion society, even if it is very often slandered, misunderstood, and mischaracterized. So be sure to let me know your thoughts on the neo-pagans and occultists around the world, and for today's poll, let me know which one of these groups piques your interest the most. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all had a fine Christmas. This has been Mason, and I'll see you next year.
Everyone, meet my boyfriend, Jake.
What's up, everyone?
What is all over your feet?
Oh, they're flowers. I study botany, so...
Oh. Yep. Yeah, that's moving slowly, man. That was good, man. I like that. Boom. Boom, boom, boom.
You could definitely make a lot of links with that, obviously, with those symbols, definitely.
Yeah, and how they all seem to be connected, yeah?
Yeah.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. This one. What is it?
This reminds me of that, you know, the intro to that movie, was it Demons and Angels, where he was doing the whole symbol thing in the beginning?
Mm-hmm.
He gave that introduction. I mean, symbology, man, it's a big thing, man.
It's true, it's true, it's true. Okay. Let's see what's going on here. Boom. Who's that? Who's that? Who's that? Who's that? You right, you right, you right, you right. You pagan, you pagan, you pagan. You pagan, you pagan, you pagan. What you saying? Like some...
You good?
Yeah. We're good, man. We're good.
Yeah.
We're good.
You too, Trilla?
Yo, what's happening? All good, man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good?
Yeah.
Cool.
I guess he's taking rejection better.
Yeah, let's go back to the symbols, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The symbol from the S-nuts. You know, I remember when Sith first came along, I asked him about this. Remember, Michael?
Right, yeah.
Yeah. because I noticed the symbols. I've seen them in Sweden a lot, and especially with Nazi people. So I was a bit like, yeah. And they claim to be this taking the old symbols from the Norse tale.
Right.
Yeah. So
but,
the hammer and all of that.
Yeah, they're calling our thing pagan though. They're calling it our ancient thing pagan when they take it on. You get me? Oh, other pagan things like Egyptian chematology, like this is what Europeans do. They take your thing and then they practice it in their particular special type of wickery type way.
Yeah, they switch it though. They mix it and remix it to their own.
Satanism was one of the biggest religions in Europe back in the day. Do you get what I'm saying? So no matter how they try and convince you, any European try and convince you that they converted to Islam, they converted to Christianity, all of that, it's a lie. Yeah. Or it's true, but what was you doing before? Do you get it? What was you doing beforehand? You know what I mean? And like when we ask those questions, they're like, they was into some pagan stuff. Well, what pagan stuff? Yeah. Why have we still got pagan stuff today? You know that guy in the park, the guy in the park, he was a Celt. He was part of some druid business. Yeah, the policeman. Yeah, the policeman in the park. Steve the policeman. He had the druid stuff on his arm. Jedi pointed it out to me one time. He said, "Rah, can you
druid? Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Had some kind of like druid symbol on his arm, right round the wrist, tattooed. I said, "Nah, this is mad. This is mad." So these people do these things in silence. But this one looks interesting. Let's see what's going on here. You ready? Yeah. Because as I said, I'm cooking jollof. I got lots of things to do, man. You get me? So I'll be in and out.
Mac is preparing for his after party.
Come on, man.
Yeah, for tomorrow. Yeah, come on.
It's today. It's today.
Tonight, isn't it?
Yeah.
Tonight. Oh yeah. Okay.
Actually, you still got time to get a flight, man. You know what
I mean? Next time.
Yeah, there'll be another event. There'll be more events. Don't worry. All right, let's play this. Let's go.
India, land of mystery, is the 7th largest landmass and 2nd most populated nation in the world. It is rich in resources and manpower, yet its people are among the poorest and most suffering on earth. Millions of Indians suffer from malnutrition, disease, and poverty. The people are apathetic because their religion has taught them to be detached observers, disregarding the agonizing lifestyle which imprisons them. V.S. Naipaul, himself an Indian, describes India as a wounded civilization, paralyzed by her religious beliefs. This complex and contradictory religion, known as Hinduism, promotes the worship of enlightened godmen called gurus. And countless idols.
Hold on. What, gurus is not just a Sikhi thing, no? Mad thing.
No. 100%. Like it's everywhere, because you get a lot of different, like you get basically, I would say, a lot of fake gurus. Yeah, people are just trying to get the cash in it by like manipulating the masses and be like, yeah, give me the money and I'll bless you in it or some shit. Those are the fake ones, isn't it? The only we call Satgurus, isn't it? The true gurus. Yeah, that's the actual name for the 10 gurus.
Yeah, for the 10 gurus. Okay, they're different.
Yeah,
but there are gurus in general Hinduism.
Even during the guru's time, there were many people pretending to be gurus. You get me? And some even branched away. Like I think Guru Nanak's even children done their own thing. You know what I mean? Like one of them done his own thing.
Right, his own sect, his own.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? But he wasn't. But he wasn't chosen to be the actual guru. Do you know what I mean? So even though he still had a lot of respect in the community, do you know what I mean? Doing whatever he was doing. So yeah.
Is it more like it's a combination, as I said, of those ways of life as well? Do you get what I'm saying? It's just in a more refined system.
How so? Could elaborate on that? What you mean?
No, I mean it's like, which is first? Hinduism, right?
Yeah. Hinduism's ancient. Yeah.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like people are using terms and drawing ideals from Hinduism more and refining it and making it what we're calling Sikhism or Sikhi.
No, because where they got theirs, it wasn't complete. Do you know what I mean, right? So we believe that to be a majority of all faiths, basically, apart from Sikhi. Sikhi we believe to be the complete, full religion. You know what I mean, right? To the full way of life to get you closer to God. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense. But their origins go much further back, as I said. The concept,
the origins, yeah. But when it came to Guru Nanak being the first Sikh guru, he got his enlightenment directly from God. He disappeared, went to heaven, and came back with the mission. You know what I mean? That was basically,
So it says obviously because it's a different branch or a different thing. You got to say it had some similarities to loads of different things, but it's a unique. Special circumstances, special,
but there are similarities between Sikhi and every faith because the truth.
But I'm saying no, there is a similarity between Hinduism and every faith. That is what you really want to say.
Because if you take away the label, what do you have? You just have truth and falsehood. You know what I mean? So what is true is, you know what I mean, the similarities between a lot of faiths.
Well, I see it as if there's lots of demons and there's bad demons and good demons, then there must be angels and there must be gods. You know what I mean?
Sure. You can look at it.
You can't have one without the other. You can't have yin without the yang.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So you can have yin and yang in disagreeableness. Let's put it that way. Let's not call it evil because it doesn't make sense. Yeah. That's a new concept as well. So agreeable and disagreeable is what they are. These beings, these devis, these angels, these things, because they can agree to disagree. You know what I'm saying? We can agree to disagree on some things, and that might make you disagreeable to me and me disagreeable to you because we don't agree, right?
Yeah.
So disagreeableness is not everlasting. Someone can be disagreeable for a moment, and just go back to, in a sense, normality, or they just disagree with an individual. Now, when it comes to disagreeing with the creator, in essence, in your being, like how you were formed, you can become polarized. So all beings are set to honor the creator or the guru or the, you know what I mean? All beings, right?
Yeah.
So when they set away from that now, that creates another, I mean, inside themselves, if their natural nature is to be disagreeable.
So
you get it? Like they're beings like that.
I mean,
and we call them fallen angels, we call them demons, we call them all sorts of names, because they're made of smokeless fire. We call them jinns because they're made of smokeless fire, right? It doesn't mean they're made. It means what they're comprised of. Where other beings are created of light or energy, should we say? Do you get what I'm saying? So when you look at yourself, you're both.
Yeah.
Would you mean what do you mean, like positive energy, the other beings?
Right?
Like, like the pure green light, or the angelic beings, the Maliks and all of that, right? That is not what they look like. That is what their soul
The
is
container.
comprised of.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have agreeable beings and you have disagreeable beings naturally form in the spiritual realm, if you want to say, before it gets to the physical realm.
See, it's
Because you know that your soul is older than your body.
See,
Everybody
it's
kind of agrees on that.
interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting, yeah, because look, I look at, say, if I compare Guru Nanak to Guru Gobind Singh, the first and the 10th, the first and the last, right? Guru Nanak came, I believe, you get me right, was just, he couldn't go wrong. He was totally egoless, right? When he, you know what I mean, was given that divine mission, right? When it came to Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj, right? The last, he also had the same as Guru Nanak. However, there was things where he said things like, even I will be judged, you know, even though he's, you know what I mean, doing the missions, you know what I mean?
Right.
And he even said to his Sikhs, like, you know, like he asked them how he was doing. And they were so humbled by that because obviously they look at him in such high esteem, right? So it's interesting because, look, if we look at the Hindu gods, right, the demigods, and I look at them and assume they were real, right? Now, I would look at them as being enlightened beings, you know, like angels, right? At the same time, they could do wrong, but it's still like they still could be judged for that, even though they're enlightened. But I'm not an expert.
No, but they all still had a single creative force that they all acknowledged.
That's true.
Whether they agreed or disagreed, they knew who the creator was, right?
Right, 100%.
Whether you Hindu deity or
whether
not.
whether you're good or evil,
right, whether you're good
know.
or evil, you know who the boss of bosses is.
That's it. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But with those beings, I think they have more knowledge of self than we do. You get it? So they have knowledge of the creator and they have knowledge of self. So we come along and we don't have knowledge of self. So what ends up happening, we end up worshipping them.
It's
and
like
they know they don't mind getting worshipped because they're not as high as the creator and they want to see what it's like, right? So they play along, they get worshipped, you know, they get called Shiva and all of these type of things. Those are the ones who accepted the worship.
I mean,
or
look,
wanted it, needed it in a sense.
a simple way of looking at it is sort of like, I don't know, I'm a big Street Fighter fan, right? So you got Ryu, right, who's the good, and you got evil Ryu, who is the bad in him, right? He chooses to not be the evil one, right? You know what I mean? But Akuma chose to embrace it. You know what I mean? So it's like looking at that, they can both be spiritually enlightened, right? But which direction you choose to go is, you know what I mean, that the darkness of the force, the good of the force, you know what I mean? It's up to you. You know, but you can still have the same power, and even the evil one might even be more powerful because they might be able to sort of use that dark energy. Do you know what I mean?
Better.
Like,
because they know better. They've been in the universe longer and older than you. Do you get what I'm saying?
Maybe,
So the technology that we're thinking and even spirituality and all of that and using your abilities is on a different level for them.
Right.
Because they might be able to have used full capacity of their brain and everything. And you know what I mean? Definitely on a higher level because I'm hearing about Vimanas and craft and interdimensional vehicles and all of that. Like, these can't be dumb beings, can they? You know what I mean?
Of course not. No.
Right. And we're not saying science is evil either, like or technology or having the ability to create stuff. That's just a gift that the creator gave to you. Now, if someone got that gift earlier than you, and if we can accept that we're not the only beings in the universe, then all things are possible, right? Yeah. I don't think these Hindus was lying or this basis of this Hindu thing was a lie. I say that there's no origin that we can exclusively say, boom, it started here. This is why I say it's the oldest religion on the planet.
I think they were all over. You know what I mean? I think they were
there's ways of life. There was ways of life as well as religion, right? But obviously, if these beings came down and got worshipped, that is religion.
But the thing is, look, you got from the Mayans, right? They everything that they have, right, leads me to believe that it was similar to the Hindus, to the Greeks. You get me, and the Norse, and it's very fucking similar. You know what I mean? These demigods, you can make up stories and exaggerate them, definitely. However, I still believe these beings may have been here. You know?
But that's like the language. Say man is Indo-Aryan, and you know what I mean. If the languages are Indo-Aryan and it has a lot to do with Asia for Europeans, right? So their stories would be similar,
Yeah.
as well as the Middle East and what we say is North Africa.
Yeah.
And that's what seems to have happened. All the information comes from Sumeria, or either it comes from India, or it comes from Egypt, basically. What they're playing with in secret is what I'm saying. Yeah? Those are the three bases of the Far East. Whether it's Hitler, he went Far East because he wanted to know about lasers.
You want to
that
tap
they
into
were
that
talking about.
power. Yeah, you want to tap into that power.
Right.
Yeah.
When man's reading texts and they're talking about laser that can destroy this and that and that and that, wouldn't you get gassed?
Yeah, I mean, if you're trying to conquer the world, yeah, you know what I mean,
Right.
you'd want to look
And
into
if you
every sort of tech. Yeah.
if you've invoked a Hindu demon, yeah, called Hitler, yeah, it makes sense, right?
That makes more sense for the SWAT sticker and everything
Right,
else
because
as well.
because you already spiritually with Madame Blavatsky invoked this kind of energy, right?
Yeah.
And now you're working on it. You're saying, okay, I'm going to take over the world. I'm going to do this. So this was the thinking and feeling of this being.
Gotcha. Makes
That's
sense.
in Hitler's body, right?
Yeah.
Because the real Hitler, we don't know where he is, what happened to him, but we know somewhere between starting to go to these Thule society and the Theosophical society, the boy changed. Do you know what I'm saying? He came out different, and then he was on a different modus operandum and agenda. But as soon as he got into power, now it's time to go back Far East because you've got the capabilities, right? You've got army, you've got all sorts, you've got researchers, you've got scientists, and all of that, right? So you can look into it properly now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what happened. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
everything connects.
Someone like Hitler, he was like an architect, right? So basically, he would have been an artist in that regard as well. And yeah, there was more reason to say that he was into the whole symbology and things like that, and he would have interest into history.
Let's call it esoterical because that's what they call it.
Okay.
Right. When you get to the esoterical or exoterical, you know what I mean? That's what they're doing in secret. Yeah, all that spiritual shit. But it's going to encompass because you're going to meditate. You're going to do certain things. You've stolen certain things from these cultures, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you got to be in the lotus position. Who told you about lotus position? When you were in the caves in Europe or Western hunter-gatherers, you weren't knowing about no lotus position. People thousands of miles away in a completely different society, which you're calling India and Africa and all of these places around the world, they were doing that.
Yeah, and he's a vegetarian, which a lot of Hindus are.
Right.
You know what I mean? Respect animals.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
We did that. We did the same thing. So, and we grew veg. We were masters of agriculture. That's our main focus. We care about anything else came secondary. Because once you can feed everybody, then once we're fed, then we can start building or doing whatever or philosophizing and all of that stuff comes afterwards. But the first main objective of a civilization or a set of people is to grow food. Do you know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
Yeah, we hunt animals and but we were always agriculturalists and pastorists or whatever first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because even to domesticate an animal, it takes skill.
Yeah, definitely.
We domesticate loads.
It looks. You know how you get those people that they break a horse, a wild horse, right? Some of them literally just do it naturally without fucking trying. You know what I mean? Like hard at all. It's just, and other people that you know what I mean. It's like you could try and learn for ages, but you know what I mean. You got to develop that sort of skill, and you got to be brave. And
I think some people need to remember that with Germany, you've got to understand that everybody's going to draw back on their origin. No one wants to really go back to Africa. They're back to Africa is a new thing. Back in the day, they wanted to go back to Asia. You understand? Because they know their origins. They know where they came from or who is their parents in that sense, right?
Interesting. Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, let's play this one. Let's go.
It deifies both nature and femaleness and believes Mother Goddess to be the original deity. She is worshipped in many forms, as Mother India venerated in the shape of her map, as Mother Earth reverenced in the cow, whose urine is even seen as sacred.
Uh-oh.
In Goddess Kali, the goddess of death and destruction, who demands to be pacified with blood sacrifices. And in Holy Mother Ganges, the largest river in India. This river is worshipped by millions who flock to her banks to perform daily toiletries and annually dump hundreds of thousands of dead bodies to assure them of a better reincarnation. Its pollution does not dampen the spiritual fervor of the people who believe its waters to be essential for all religious ceremonies and imbued with magical and healing powers. Incredibly, the West is today looking to Hinduism's superstitions for hope. The religion that has all but destroyed India has now infiltrated every area of Western society. Protesting that it is not religious but scientific, it is transforming our minds, science, medicine, mass media, politics, and the church. Hinduism is most seductive when it wears the mask of Christian terminology and has shockingly managed to disguise itself as the latest Christian thought. Hundreds of thousands of Western pilgrims have journeyed to India seeking enlightenment and have disappeared by the hundreds. All too often they are destroyed by the madness and perversion of the very gurus they have worshipped and looked to for salvation. Here in Delhi, India, Guru Darshan Singh, only one of hundreds of gurus, has personally converted or initiated some 15,000 followers. He explains that it is the job of the guru to groom his disciples into the shortest path to salvation.
Salvation is the same, but we have various paths leading to it. Some of the paths are long paths, other paths are the short paths.
Why is a master then necessary?
Master is necessary, to groom you into the shortest path.
Descended from a long line of Hindu spiritual masters, Rabindranath Maharaj is a former guru and accomplished yogi who was worshipped by thousands. In his autobiography, Escape into the Light, he tells of his life as a guru and why he abandoned Hinduism.
The Hindu needed to be near his guru. The Hindu needed to consult his guru. He eventually saw his guru as the only means to salvation.
It is absolutely extraordinary also to look at disciples of some of these gurus that I saw in India, for example. These adoring, huge, open eyes that just will accept anything from him and that just love him beyond anything.
I loved Maharishi. I worshipped him. Therefore, everything he said or did or thought was perfectly right in my eyes.
See, this is where we have a problem, Trilla, man.
Yeah, pause it.
This is where we have a problem, man.
So,
you know what I mean? Come on.
I was gonna say, so basically, right? All right. So it's getting interesting now because again, now he's touching a couple of points. The first one, right? Again, talking about certain things, right? My opinion, right? These guys are remixing Sikhi and they're remixing Hinduism, right? They're doing their own little thing to basically get the people in, get the donations, get the money, whatever it is, yeah. And they might be trying to think that they're trying to help people, but again, if they're doing the remix, yeah, that's their own thing, isn't it? That they're trying to do, yeah. When it come down to the other guy, he was basically mentioning the last one we just saw. He was mentioning how they worship the guru, right? And again, and how he's against that because he's basically he's going to promote something like you don't need one, you can do it yourself, right? Now the problem is with that is right in Sikhi, yeah, is that we have our guru there as our guide, right? Our guru is there to show us the way to help keep us on the path, right? Obviously, we're trying to get to God, but our guru is there to help us on our journey. So we have our guru there for that, and so when it comes down to him saying he could do it on his own, bro, if he thinks he can, good for him. A lot of people
but
can't.
Man are worshipping the guru though.
No, right. But this is the thing. When it comes to the worship thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
It can look like worship if you're doing certain things like bowing your head and things like that. You know, drinking the water of somebody's feet. You know what I mean? Things like that. It can look like a form of worship, 100%. However, when it come down to it, and again, I'm not in a good position to talk about this properly. Yeah, I might get somebody to sort of like you know what I mean, who knows their stuff in it, to like have a, you know, talk to you about this, because this is really interesting topic. Yeah, it's a good point, because again, what is the difference between worshipping God and then worshipping Guru? How similar is it? What makes it different? So I would love to get somebody to sort of like definitely give you a better answer on that one.
Yeah, because I've seen bare people, you know, like Said Baba and all of these men in southern India.
Yeah.
Who they definitely worship him. You know what I'm saying? They definitely worship him. So this idea of worshiping, not even in the Hindu sense, like the Hindus supposedly worship deities, but now we got to the stage where men are worshipping gurus. I think that's
to
what
be
makes
honest,
it.
like Trilla, I thought Guru was your god in a sense.
It's
for a
not
moment.
it's the thing is, right, it's like we look at Guru as the door and God as the house. So Guru will just, you know what I mean, let us in. Do you know what I mean? Like lead us in, show us the way, you get me, thing like that. So
But
it's
Guru
similar,
can
but not
be
the
a
same.
person, and it's also a book. Can I say it like that?
Yeah, you can say a book, but we believe, you know, the title is Guru, but you know, you could say like it looks like a book, but you know, but yeah, go
Yeah,
on,
but
carry
it's
on.
also been a person, right?
It's basically our Guru. It is a person, a living embodiment. You know what I mean?
You can
So,
say
yeah.
our God, because
well,
it's like saying
go
our
on.
God, because if the supreme oneness is Guru,
I mean,
then
what
what
are
are we
we
doing,
doing,
man?
right? What we are basically bowing our heads to our Guru every time, you know, we enter a Gurdwara, right? We
Right.
are showing
Yeah.
ultimate respect, right, to our Guru. When we put our Guru to rest, right, like you know what I mean, we treat it like a living person, in terms of like we cover up our Guru and put it to rest at night, and then wake him up, you know what I mean, as in, you know what I mean, take him down respectfully, to be you know what I mean, opened and everything, you know what I mean, and recited from. So
Do you sacrifice stuff too? Like, not sacrifice, but you give like food and
we get offerings,
offerings,
offerings in terms of like, and again, this was happening even during the Guru's time when they were, you know, the 10 Gurus were alive in, you know, in person, you know, so like there were offerings given, by many people, you know what I mean, and these things were
These are all,
encouraged,
these are all things that are part of Hinduism, though.
But see, again, the thing is,
as
like,
well.
what you're using it for, because like, look, for example, when it comes to the touching the feet, for example, right, if I touch your feet, right, is showing ultimate respect. If you tell me to touch me, if you tell me to touch your feet, then it's different. Do you know what I mean? All of a sudden now it's like, you know what I mean, you're not so humble now. You know what I mean? You're demanding something like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And our Guru would never say touch my feet. You understand?
But can a king say that?
But people would do that.
Can a Maharaj or a king say that?
But
a
they
king could
shouldn't.
say that.
I mean, they shouldn't.
A king could easily say that, right?
Yeah, they could say
To
that,
his
but
subject, one of his subjects. Someone come in the room and say, listen, touch my feet.
Yeah, but like a king can make mistakes. You get me? Like Maharaja Ranjit Singh, the first Sikh king, right? He made mistakes, right? At the same time, he was punished for it, you know what I mean, by other, you know what I mean, Sikhs, you get me, like his generals, and he was the king, and he had to, you know what I mean, like be tried and had to take the punishment, you know what I mean. So he, even though he was the highest authority at the time, though he knew that the higher authority was the Akal Takht, right? And they told him, if you mess up, you get me, nah. So that's the highest authority. Do you know what I mean? Again, I am so basic in my knowledge with Sikhi guys, so forgive me, you know what I mean, making mistakes. I'm not going to give you
But right now, we're not in Sikhi, we're in Hinduism.
Hinduism, I know. But all I'm saying is, I understand where you're coming from, how similar it looks, the devotion, the worship.
Yeah, because I'm getting a bit confused, to be honest. If it's
I
like the same.
totally get it. I totally understand. You know what I mean?
Interesting. All right, let's play. Because these men are mind controlling these people. You know how Europeans are. They just jump on anything. They become Hare Krishna, all sorts, They've been doing that from way back.
Yeah, Hare Krishna thing, I
mean, they've been doing that from way back, 60s, you know? hippie, the hippie
Hippie
thing, the
times.
Hindu
Yeah.
thing, it's all mixed in together. The Wicca, all of it. So it's like, right, it's all pagan. Crazy.
Master, and I love him. I'm in love with him. That's the only thing I can say.
Her face was proper lopsided, boy. Mad thing. Halfling. Look at him. Look.
Give thanks, man.
That could be your uncle, man.
You never
The
know.
way he's staring up and all of that. These are photo opportunities. These men are rate themselves like gods, man. It's mad.
Yeah. He
False
looks like
prophets
a
and that.
devotee, but okay.
No, he's a leader or something.
Okay.
Guru Bhagwan Rajneesh, given refuge by the American government after fleeing his native India, has purchased a 100-square-mile ranch in central Oregon, to which his red-clad disciples flock from all over the world. Whose astonishing title literally means highest spiritual teacher, Lord of the universe, honorable sir, and king.
Mad. Come on. God of the universe and that. Come on, man. Allow it, man. What are we doing here? It's proper pagan, boy. Well, this is Judge.
Carol Matriciana is a journalist and author of the book Gods of the New Age. Born and raised in India, she moved to London in 1973, where she became one of England's leading authorities on new religious movements.
During the various celebrations in Oregon, Rajneesh comes out in one of his Rolls Royces 2 or 3 times a day and is worshipped, literally adored by his thousands of Western followers. It is so saddening to see their devotion for a mere human being who considers himself God, and their submission to his spiritual rules, like wearing his picture around their neck continually, or wearing various shades of red always, or changing their names to Indian ones.
His spokeswoman and right-hand lady, Sheila Silverman, tries to explain the attraction and magnetism of her master.
He is something that is so... I have no words.
This is why I say it's demonology, man. This is you worshipping a man. It's a demon. There's a demon spirit in him, a jinn or whatever. It's like, bruv, this is the only beings that would ever want this type of admiration and worship.
Yeah, no, I hear you, dude. Like, you know what? Like I said, I'm paying very close attention to this stream. It's very good, yeah. Good questions posed, and if there's a Q&A tomorrow at the Gurdwara, you know what I mean, I'll ask the main guy.
You'll be on it, yeah. You'll be on it. Like, what's going on?
No, because again, like I have.
But you said it from the beginning, yeah. You said it from the beginning.
Yeah.
There are different types of gurus, right? From the gurus of Hinduism, we're not talking about the gurus of Sikhi. None of that hasn't been mentioned one iota here, so we know that's clear. It's a clear separation.
There was a guy who his name, the first one that came on was something Singh. Remember Singh?
Yeah,
and he was doing the Hindu. He was doing the Hindu remix. You get me? Again, that's what these guys do. They take the name, you know what I mean, and then to get both people to come in and do their remix. You get me?
Right. Because as I said, Hinduism is a linked religion. It can link onto anything because the roots of a lot of the religions are based in Hinduism. Christ, Krishna, all of these type of similarities we tried to bring forth before. You know? The symbol of the crescent moon and the star, that's Shiva's symbol. You know, depiction, do you know what I'm saying? So, it's crazy, but true.
It is a love relationship, master and disciple. Something happens in your heart when you see a master.
Bhagwan's my master.
I'm telling you, man. Laughing demon spirit. Yeah? She's possessed. You see her moving from side to side to side to side to side. Who does that? No. Listen, I'm telling you. There's juju, judge. The best of it. Hinduism is judge. I'm telling you, you're working with demon spirit, demon entities that are calling themselves gods, and then you're worshiping them, and then you're moving from side to side, left to right, to right to right, giggling like an idiot. Come on, man. This is mad.
Back in India, the proceedings are on a much larger scale. Here at the Kumbh Mela Festival or Aquarium Fair in Allahabad, India, 20 million Hindus gather to witness an endless procession of hundreds of these self-proclaimed god-men.
Listen, I don't even know it to be that. I know about hundreds of, or sorry, 1,000 demons, right? If 1,000 demons, because you can't have 1,000 supposedly messengers of God or the guru, you know what I mean? The force, and have all these guys. It's just too much. So this is only like judge. This is demonology. I'm telling you, these demons got together, jumping in people's bodies. I mean, walking around calling themselves gurus and god men. Come on, man. We can see it. Like, we can see it.
I mean, one thing I can say is, so I'm pretty sure this is in Islam, but I think it's in Sikhi as well, where Guru Nanak was also saying there were many before, you know what I
Right.
mean, and there'll be many after, you know what I mean. It's
Right.
just that many never completed their mission. Some were corrupted, some were killed, some were so on and so forth. You know what I mean. And but again, they were like when I talked about how there's a Sat Gurus and then there were gurus. You get me? So
Right.
and then there are the fake ones. You get me? The fake gurus as
Yeah.
well.
Mhm.
So we don't really know until you know what I mean. See what their intentions are. Like you see some of these Christian preachers, right? That are like praise Jesus, praise the Lord. You get me? Donate.
Right.
We're gonna help people, and then
Yeah,
what
yeah,
happened?
yeah.
They got mansions and they got freaking
Yeah, just
jets
sucks
and
out the money. Yeah,
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 they
yeah,
take the piss, bro. Like who they helping with all that? Like
yeah,
themselves.
yeah.
You get me?
You're right. I saw it with Said Baba where, yeah, the man was sprinkling gold dust into people's hands and that. You know what I mean? You know, man had a little gadget or something where he just put the gold dust in his hand and he just sprinkle it
Hey,
into the
bro,
person's hand.
there's some people that like were doing magic tricks. You get me, right?
Yeah, magic tricks
And I
as well.
don't know if how real that was because some people were
Right.
like that's fake. Other people were like, nah, it's real. I've met good people, bro. Yeah, that have said
Mhm.
no, those guys
That's real.
were real,
Yeah.
and they got killed because like some bullshit, like they were some.
Conspiracy.
So yeah, something like
Yeah.
whatever it was, but so
Right.
it's so hard for me to believe because especially when it's aligning with Sikhi, you get me? Like,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I'm like, hang on, you're Indian, I get it. You got a
Mm.
turban, I get it. You got the beard. You're
Mhm.
basically saying stuff about with Sikhi, but you're doing your
Mhm.
own thing as well,
You're doing
and
your
you're
own
doing
thing.
magic tricks. You got your
Mm.
following. You know what I mean? Like I just it's just hard, bro. Like, because again, I have to meet these people myself in person for me to really
Yeah.
know. Oh, I could just take somebody's word for it. That is a
I
good
think what
person. But
happened. I
yeah,
think what happened if when the first guru made that statement in the water, there is no Islam, there is no Hinduism, there is only Guru. Yeah, he was refining it. He was bringing not a new thing, but a different type of thing.
yeah. That
You know what I
that
mean?
statement that statement was to show that look, God doesn't
Yeah.
recognize labels. God recognizes good actions. He don't care what you call
Mm.
yourself, and that because there was so much beef at the time in that area about between Hindus and Muslims and whatever label you were carrying. And he was saying, listen, that's not what God cares about. God cares about what you're doing with your life, how you're conducting yourself. You know what I mean,
Yep. Well, that's what. But as I said, There's a separation between your gurus and their gurus. But I do think that because of the three things that were originally there, I kind of agree with H when he said that, listen, to get to everybody, there had to be a little bit of the different various what was in the diaspora at the time. If there was Buddhist, if there were thing, if there were, you know what I'm saying? If there was Muslims, there was thing, there was all sorts. So they had to kind of be able to work with all the people to draw them in. To know that to say that a man's God is Allah, you understand? But Allah is not Allah, Allah is Guru. To even get that explanation or to be able to break it down, you have to understand. The Guru would have understand the different faiths, right?
Yeah, he
So
did.
when I'm hearing that statement that he made, it was more to centralize. Like, listen, there's only oneness, right? Right. The Muslims say there's only one God.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like the Hindus will say there's only one
But
Brahma
this is
or one.
yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like,
This
yeah.
is the thing though. Look, many Muslims, Hindus, Sikhs, and others, you get me right, lived in complete cohesion. Lived in a lot of cohesion. There was a lot more peace than there was beef. You get me, between them, whilst just living with each other. In you know what I mean? It was when obviously certain fanatics, you get me right, took the reins of power and fucking did what they did. You get me? Because they had the control of the armies. You get me right? When it came to being an emperor listening to a fanatic, or the generals listening to the fanatics, you get me? They basically were convinced to do what they did for whatever reasons. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, it was to basically, so yeah.
Anyway, let's play.
Even the dirt beneath these gurus' feet is an aid to the disciple in his quest for salvation.
No, this is craziness. What the fuck?
Pause it. I'll tell you what that is. So basically, that's showing humility. Putting the dirt right on your brow. Now again, right? How much of this is influenced by Hinduism? Because the thing is, right, in Sikhi is we also do that. We touch the ground and touch our forehead. We put our forehead to the ground when we mutadik, right? When we bow our head, right? So. And again, then we look at, like, for example, you got the Nahang Singhs, right? The Nyang Singhs are like, the ancient warrior class of our people, right? Of the Sikh people. And they have tried to stick with what they've done from hundreds of years ago till today, right? So what they do is, like, they're barefoot a lot of the times, you know what I mean, right? So like they walk around barefoot. They embrace the earth, you get me, right? And the dirt. And obviously they wash and everything else as well, but they embrace it as well at the same time. Do you know what I mean? Not afraid to get dirty, put it that way. Not afraid to, like, harden up the skin, toughen up and everything else. You get me? Like, and we've seen the benefits of, like, being dirty, right? Like, as opposed to being clean all the time. Do you know what I mean? Like, when you're growing up as a kid, bacteria, you'll get more probably ill if you're kept away from getting a bit dirty sometimes, like going out playing football in the field and this and that. Do you know what I mean? It's like, if you do that, then you're probably your body's going to become more immune to the bacteria out there. So yeah, has its benefits.
Covertly photographed and smuggled out of India. Naked priests are considered to be the holiest and most dedicated of guru disciples. Many cover their bodies with cremation ashes and dirt and mat cow dung into their hair.
Okay, I don't agree with that part.
Some are armed.
Mad. You've been going at some people.
Bro, putting shit in your hair, bro. Like, no shampoo, just put shit in there later.
And that's what makes dreadlocks.
But I get like
that's what makes dreadlocks in India.
I know about the ashes. We're against that in Sikhi.
I've seen that. Yeah.
We're against that, right? Putting the ashes but again, like, you've seen these other people out there that are like these anyway, we'll get.
But cow dung is holy, and cow's urine is holy. So,
I mean, for them, I mean, like, whatever it is.
It's a lot, isn't it?
It's what they do. It's a lot to
It's
take
got a lot
in.
of intricacies. It's got a lot of rituals, ritualistic stuff, and ceremonies, and all of these type of things that are very similar to a lot of people.
I mean, the only good thing I could say about the cow shit is the fact that obviously fertilizer, right? And the second thing, we use it we like it's in India. You go to any of the villages, even in the cities, yeah, where you got the smaller houses, bro. They got the freaking cow dungs. Get me, like, you know, the patties, and then you put it under the you put it under the thing, and it's a fire. You make a fire out of it. You know what I mean? Once it's dried up, innit? Once it's dried up, you know, dry it in the
cow
sun.
dung. I get you. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like it's very, the cow is like, is such a freaking, I understand why they hold it in such high regard. You get me, right? And some people worship it because it literally feeds your family and does so much. You know what I mean? For one family, like.
It's true. It's true. Makes sense. But I don't know about the wee and the dung part.
And are dependent upon extremely potent drug concoctions. They have surrendered everything. Families.
You see? Extremely thin concoction.
Drugs.
They're smoking his weed.
But this is, again, shit. See, again, now, how similar is this to like the Nyangsings take a, what do you call it? Like, you know, bang, right? Which is a mixture of milk and, you know, weed and water and stuff like that, right? So they have this sort of thing. I've never tried it, right? But, what do you call it? Like, so they've done that from like 300 years ago. But at the same time, like, not every other sect of Sikhi does that. Do you know what I mean? Just them. You know what I mean? So it's specific to them because they're, like I said, they are renowned to be like the warriors. And even like from what I know, Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj, like praise them for their bravery. You know what I mean? The Nyangsings praise them because they were,
as I said, look,
ferocious warriors.
No matter what we do, then whatever they picked up in India, they were always Hindus first. You understand?
Yeah, bro, I see
so
the
the
link.
oldest generation
of
people in India would have been thing, and then Islam came into play, then other things came into play. You know what I mean? Taoism, Jadism, blah blah blah, and spread off into other places. Yeah.
I mean, Guru Nanak's parents were Hindu. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? So, you know,
you're surrounded by it. It will have an influence in your thing. You know what I mean? There'll be elements that you can say, "Rah, I recognize that. I recognize that. That's why we're getting this." And I'm saying, "Rah." And then when we're saying the weed smoking and locks and all of that, that's a Rastaman thing, right?
There you go.
And they say that the Rastaman got it from these guys. They do say that.
They're so far apart. How did that happen?
No, because the man who came up with Rastafarianism, Leonard P. Howe, had influence in Hinduism. Because it's like 1960s or something. You know what I mean?
Okay.
When he started doing this, which these guys would have been around about those times, right?
Interesting. Yeah.
And all of this would have been new age, you know?
Yeah,
and new way to think and all of this type of stuff. So it's all coming around the same time.
It sounds a bit like a remix still, but yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
It is.
Man went
That
down
is the remix.
Yeah, I hear that.
It's the remix, but it's been happening from way back.
I hear that.
What we got today is a newer remix. You know what I mean? There's newer organizations that are based on these things and, you know, the old forms and what other man were doing. But we can see, in essence, a lot of people around the world, who have ways of life, took from the Hindu concepts, right? Yeah? That's
I
true.
mean, like I said, the similarities are clearly there. Clearly.
Yeah. Like, every minute I'm having to stop it. You're like, yeah, this is same, this is similar, this is similar. Wow, that's similar too.
I can't disagree. Yeah. Can't disagree.
Mad. Let's go.
His possessions and even their minds, becoming literally insane out of devotion to their guru.
Well, Guru is our best friend, philosopher, and guide, and he shows the way to God. So, we in our India acknowledge him as a divine power, just equivalent to God.
If anyone could be near the beloved Master and witness the love, the compassion, the humility, the grace, the generosity, no one in his right mind would not know that this is a walking, talking, living God on earth.
In all scriptures, you will find that the Master is the God-incarnated power working on earth.
You people that interviewed this gentleman today, I don't think you knew who you interviewed, but you interviewed God.
Pause it.
The Guru is all important.
So, all right, when it comes down to that, now, if he's obviously referring to that one person being, you know, the leader of, anyway, right, as a god, right? However, again, we believe that God is within all, right? And like the thing with namaste is you're welcoming the God within. You know what I mean? So again, like, so when you're saying a living, breathing God, you know what I mean, is no different really in that regard to any other human being, but that that person considers to be more enlightened. You know what I mean? That would be the correct way of saying it. A more enlightened individual. But we all have God within us, so it's one of those things. Yeah.
But you can see the modus operandum in the beginning is exactly the same as what the gurus would say. They wouldn't say they were God. They would say they were a conduit and a teacher for God, right? But
Something
somewhere
like
along
that.
the line in Hinduism, there's become a middle ground with these beings. You know what I mean? That we're calling devis and all of that, or intercessors, or let me give them the real term, avatars. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Avatar, they would say, but avatars. And you know what avatar is? It's just like the avatar. It's a body that houses that spirit. You know what I mean? Or that supernatural being or whatever. Yeah.
Let me just check out here. Avtar is the closest name that I know, right? In Sikhi, right? And obviously it's a Hindu name as well, I'm guessing. I'm just looking at the meaning. Incarnation of God.
Wow.
That's wow. I didn't know that. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what a deity is. That's what they're saying, or thing. But these guys cannot say they are incarnations of God, or can they? Is that's what they've been told? Is that's what these beings told them? Remember, these beings are trying to draw people in for some of them. Some of them would never had good intentions. The ones that had good intentions still got worshipped. You know what I mean? Because they're beings of the same liking. You get what I'm saying? They're malevolent beings. They're not benevolent beings. These are malevolent beings because they're here, they're physical, they was, you know what I mean? Had some interactions and whatever, right? And they sometimes got a bad temper. Yeah, the bad ones, they were bad. The good ones, they just like to get worshipped and drop gems and jewels of wisdom. Do you get it?
Yeah, but even
Whether
the
it's
good
in battle
yeah.
or thing. And that's the fun thing about the Mahabharata. It's a battle. It's a battle, man.
But like
and all we
even
got is this deity telling Arjun how to be in a battle. Don't be afraid to fight against your cousins, your uncle, your thing. You know what I mean? Don't do these bars. You know what I mean? Trust me, I've read it one and I watched the an audio version.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was
Yeah,
like, yeah, man, this is deep, man. This is deep. So like it gave me kind of the visual. Yeah, and I've also watched a couple movies of the same thing as well. So it adds it all together, you know what I mean? So I've got a picture in my mind, and then I got a reality picture, and then I got the movie, and then I got the actual story that I read, the Mahabharata itself, sorry. And then you know what I mean? Everything adds together to form a picture of what this thing was about. This thing was about a war. Two warring families. Yeah, or two family, that are kind of related.
Sounds a bit like
Just going
Romeo
to
and
war.
Juliet, though. I mean, I'll tell you this though, right? From listening to what you just said. All right, so the Mahabharata and everything else, it to me it shows, because remember earlier I said that these were enlightened beings. However, I'm starting to think differently now. I think they were trying to also achieve total enlightenment, right? They were enlightened to an extent, but they had never had maybe full enlightenment, because I feel like they were still battling with their egos because of the mistakes that they made.
Right.
You know
No,
what I mean?
it's not the mistake. The mistake is allowing beings to think that you are the creator.
Because see, the gurus, the Satgurus, right? The Sikh gurus, they never made mistakes. They were perfect, to get me, in terms of what they did whilst enlightened. You know what I mean, right? So they were egoless. You get me? Whatever they did had a purpose. Everything they did was.
But I think enlightenment has
right.
different meanings to different people, because as
yeah.
I know enlightenment meant to mean that to reach nirvana, right? But nirvana happens to be a place where these beings went back to. So if Krishna or Vishnu or one of them, they went back to nirvana. Now everybody's trying to reach the state of nirvana. It's confusion. You know what I'm saying? Someone has misconstrued what the information was given. The information was given that is it Krishna? Yeah, Krishna went back to nirvana. Later on, you've got Buddha trying to reach enlightenment and trying to reach nirvana. Well, if you're going to meditate and astral project to nirvana, which is a star in the Pleiades or Seven Sisters star constellation.
The thing is, so one definition here of enlightenment from the Sikhi thing, enlightenment is considered to be an ecstatic state of realization of one's divine inner connection with the creator and of all creation. So it's just opening up the mind, right? Like with take Buddha for example, he realized all his past lives, you get me, and everything. He'd experienced all of that just came flooding back, you get me, right? Know what I mean?
That's via meditation though.
Right. For years of meditation and inner battling, you know what I mean, right? And everything else. So the thing is, again, with that, and another point as well. So yeah, Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj, right? Used to go to a place called Himkund Sahib, right? It's a famous place where Sikhs do pilgrimage to. And it's up in the North Mountains, yeah. It's in the north. You can only go there in the spring and summer because the pastures melt. You can't. It's uninhabitable to go to. You can't go there any other way, right? So
someone built a temple there,
right? Yeah. So he built the temple there, right? He went there and built the Gurdwara there. Oh, he used to go there anyway. I can't get the but anyway, the thing was, he said, right, that he used to meditate there for 3,000 years, right, before he came to this planet. That was his favorite area, right? Because the mountainous, beautiful region. It's called the Valley of Flowers, right? It's a beautiful region. So what does that say? That basically indicates that obviously he wasn't here presently in this world and in this human form for 3,000 years because the body dies, right? So it means that his spirit was here in an astral plane, right? Where this world is, where it's a world where we can't see with these eyes, but maybe we might if we open up that third eye. Do you know what I mean?
It's still here. It's still here.
It's still here. Yeah. It's just we can't see it.
So those beings are trapped in this plane. Hence the word reincarnation. Return into cardinal body.
Right. So it's an amazing thing because again, like I believe that, yeah, I mean, maybe he was waiting, you know what I mean? Maybe he wasn't.
That's a lot different. That's a lot different between beings incarnating. That's a lot different from beings manifesting as light or energy into physical form. So we can see there's many processes going on. So these beings that we're talking about were physical, right? Because even when they died, their souls remained here, floating around until the next generation of them was born, or they were born again into one's womb, or whatever process they choose, but they reincarnated. Yeah, that's what's being said when they say that, like 3,000 years. How you been there 3,000 years? No, you reincarnated, just like the Dalai Lama. You got what I'm saying? He reincarnated.
Yeah, but reincarnated. Yeah, I agree. However, maybe so. Like again, so there's Sachkhand, the highest heaven, right? Maybe he was in Sachkhand, right? And again, you are able to freely, you know what I mean, travel because he was meditating to God for 3,000 years, right? Let's call it before he came. So again, this is like when you go to Sachkhand, you're still doing the same thing you were doing in this world to get there in the first place, right?
Well,
so,
seventh heaven, what does that mean? I mean, what level of dimensional?
We believe there's only one highest. We believe there's only one highest heaven, right? So it's just such that's called Sachkhand. So with that, right, maybe as well, and again I can look into it further, but he could have been sent. His spirit, his soul, could have been spent down to complete this divine mission, right? Because he was the right one to do the job. Do you know what I mean? Like out of all the other souls that were there up there with him, you know what I mean? Guru Nanak being one of them, and you know what I mean. But at the same time, do you know what I mean? It's like all 10 were together. Do you know what I mean? It's just It's, you know what I mean? But he's still his own separate soul at the same time. You get me?
Yeah, but no matter what, good or bad demons came from the sky.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In most people's brain, they don't come from underneath the earth in some hell, or they always seem to come from the sky at first. Sent down, flung down, whatever down, came down, you know, arrived here or at some point. Yeah. Man said he was on top of a mountain 3,000 years ago. That's still within human conceivable time. He would have seen early Indians or the last of the Harappan. He was not even old enough for the Harappan civilization. All of he's talking about is what's within the Indus.
Yeah, and you know the book that he personally wrote was the Dasam Granth, right, which we also revere highly, right? Like, you know, because we should, didn't it? Because our guru wrote it, you know what I mean? So this was the Dasam Granth. We are encouraged to also read the Dasam Granth as well as the Guru Granth Sahib. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it's which Nahang Singhs hold that in again the really high regard, probably more so than other Sikhs would, you know, than Young Singhs.
I'm saying it sounded like you lot are very disciplined Hindus, stroke Muslims, stroke Buddhists, stroke, you know what I'm saying? And you've refined it into a thing that we're calling Sikhi, which makes sense from as I said, the opening statement of the Guru.
Yeah,
you know
but
what I mean?
not knowing about any of that, you know what I mean? It's like the truth come, and then like what the knowledge that they have obtained about the other faiths, right? They've included, right, as a to make a comparison to show people, look, like for example, they use Durga, right? The goddess, or the one that they give blood offerings to, right? She killed demons, right? And he was, and they were what's the fucking word? Pacifist, the ones that don't fight. Pacifist. I can't even say it right. So like anyway, what you call it? Like they were ones that did choose not to fight. You know what I mean? They would just get killed, like, and you know what I mean, for no reason, right? Like just because they didn't want to harm anybody. Now Guruji put down there, look, even Durga, you should who you also worship was fighting. So fight to encourage people. That's why things were like mentioned in there. You know what I mean? It had Muslim things in there to show Muslims, look, we're not, you know what I mean? This is what it said. We have Muslim scholars, you get me, like with their writings, and he mentioned Prophet Muhammad and things like that to show them, like, you know what I mean, this is what Prophet Muhammad did. So do
I
this.
mean, I agree. I mean, that's what Hate said. You know what I mean? And I think I've heard you mention it before as well. So we do understand that obviously Sikhi is going to be influences by what's around them, and mostly if you're mostly the majority are Hindus, in the region you're in, the parents of the people, of the gurus are Hindus, everybody around you is Hindu or Muslim, or you know what I mean, that's all that was around at the time. But people don't understand that Hindu word is a broad, I mean, it's like a capstone for a larger thing.
It's not a religion. It's a culture.
It's not one thing.
It's not a religion.
It's not one thing.
Yeah, it's not a religion at all.
It's got religions in it.
Yeah, it's a culture.
It is a religion. It is a religion.
No, it's not. I mean,
no, it is a religion because everything that branched off of it is a religion also.
I mean,
but people say no, they're just ways of life, or like Buddhism is a way of life. No, it's not. It's just a refined form of Hinduism, meaning that Hinduism is so broad in its thing. People have taken Jaidism, Taoism. All of this has come out of Hinduism, right? Even the Chinese, what they think they're doing over there and what they're doing in Malaysia is still Hinduism.
I hear what you're saying. It's
just different aspects and different forms of it that people could be fascinated about, because there's so many gods, so many stories, so many things, and people have taken certain aspects, like you say. Some people just strictly, I'm just going to be on the Kali thing. Kali is only a section of the bigger story. Do you get it? Like of the bigger thing. But some people are not interested in that. They just want to focus on her abilities, her capabilities, what she did when she came here, and all of that, right? And then same with Shiva, and then same with Brahma. Oh, Brahma is part of the Trinity, and you get what I'm saying? So there's that also. And the idea of the Trinity, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, Mati. Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
I mean,
it's first in India.
And like I done a
the
stream,
Hindus. Yeah.
I done a stream, right? What you call it? Like when when Raj lot were calling me a Muslim and this and that, just take the piss, right? Like I thought, okay, cool. Let me make a stream about who I am, innit? Yeah. And I looked at what Jagraj was saying about Hinduism and things like that, right? By Jagraj, and he basically said, look, Hinduism isn't a religion, right? It's a culture. Do you know what I mean, right? And we should be trying to basically make them six. All right, we shouldn't be doing what they're doing. They should be doing what we're doing. Do you know what I mean, right? Because they don't have they don't have a guru. They don't have. You get me? Like they
don't need one.
Yeah, but well, again, so this is what this is about, though.
No, but they have gurus in their thing. So as I said,
they got these demigods, right? But they don't really have this one direction that you're talking about. You said some worship this, some do this, some do that, right?
Yes.
So again, they don't have that one direction. We do. Like we're not excluding Hindus or Hinduism.
No, I'm not saying that, and I'm saying the same thing. That you definitely have refined it and made it one thing, one God, one. Like Tawheed, as the Muslims would say. You know what I'm saying?
But that's how Hinduism should have been before it was corrupted. You get it?
But it's not corrupted.
It was corrupted.
It's not. No, hold on. It's just been taken. No, I'm saying there's corrupt people doing corrupt things, right?
Yeah.
But that you can't put that on the religion, right?
I
would never say like if someone a Sikh person was doing something foul, I would blame Sikhi. That it's just ridiculous. You don't do that. It doesn't make sense.
Right.
It has no grounds.
Of course.
Yeah, for support. I'm
not saying Hinduism corrupted anybody. I'm saying that what you call it, the people corrupted Hinduism. Do you know what I mean? Right? They basically. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're right. Yes, because only it needs people to fuel whatever it is, right? And if people spend most of the time in worship and admiration to these deities, then that's a religion. You get what I mean? That is what it is, or a cult, or you know what I mean, or culture.
Yeah.
Do you get it?
Yeah.
So like to be a cult is not necessarily a bad thing, but these are some of the original cults on the planet.
I like that because I like it when you do that shit with cult and culture. I never thought of it and just until now. You know what I mean? Like
it's part of the same
it's
word.
Literally,
you know what I mean?
it's in your face, literally, and like it's easy to miss, though, isn't it? Like
when people say, you was you in a cult? Well, I've always been in a culture.
Yeah, hear that.
Varying many and I live in England, so I'm exposed to other people's culture. That's it. Cool, whatever, mate.
I hear that.
I ain't a culture vulture, but I appreciate other people's culture. I indulge in their food and all of that, and obviously,
100,
I have friends from across the planet. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah. So sometimes you have to go to their house and eat food.
Bro, I'm always happy to eat their mother's cooking, bro, all day, bro.
Yeah, that's the best, isn't it? Better than any takeaway.
Bro, my brothers will come round and, bro, is your mom cooking today? Bam, we're there, bro.
Straight. Like me today, bro. I'm like, no, when I'm cooking, it's going to be peak. So they'll come around. You get me? Jed will be there first. Fresh plate. Yeah, got his plate out, really.
Jed should be last to eat, bro. He's going to
Yeah, man. Yeah, he loves his jollof rice, man. You know what I mean? Man, what sachets to take home and that. You know the ones they're like, can you do a little thing for me and put it away? And Yeah, I got you, cuz.
Maka got the secret recipes, ready.
I'm telling you, man. I ain't cooked because this new cooker of mine is like, them hobs. Them Indictus hobs or shit. But you have to have special pots.
Okay.
Bullshit, bro. Piss you off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I bought this big pot now because I got loads of big pots, but they were no use, right? So I was pissed. I had to buy this small pot set that fits the hob. Yeah. So then I went out not too long ago and got the big pot.
That's
the
a
missus
good point.
got a big pot for me.
Right, it's a good point because we're looking to buy a new oven as well. Like we just literally, my dad broke it. I don't know how, but he just broke it. And like I just literally now you just maybe consider that. Obviously, we got some big pots in it, so we need to make sure that will fit as well.
Right.
So it's a good point, man. I mean,
Axum.
Yay!
You back?
Yeah,
You
I'm
back.
gonna go for 5 minutes. Yeah, I'm listening though. Yeah, people.
Yeah, no problem.
Maku. I need to try some Nigerian food. Yeah, I never tried it.
Yeah, man. The pot's on the boil, man.
Yeah, you have to make some when I come around next time.
Of course.
Yay. So what are you doing? Jollof rice and
I might make stew, man.
Mm.
Some lamb stew or something. Just a little pot to go with the jollof. It's not even really needed, but yeah, I thought just do something different because I ain't cooked
some
it
sauce, some meat.
proper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though you
Proper
don't
thing.
eat meat, you're gonna cook meat, yeah?
No, I can eat meat. I'm not vegan anymore.
Ah, I see. You can hold it, yeah?
The trials was over, man. Trials was over. It's alright. After I hurt my rib, man, I said, nah, man, gotta eat proper food again, man. The fuck is this?
And then this vegan stuff.
I don't, yeah. I don't get injured for love nor money, man. Not on my mother's food. I know the food I was eating, home food, growing up.
Yeah.
And now, all of a sudden, I'm getting cracked rib. I said, nah, I'm out. I need to go back to what I know, man.
Yeah. I go back to your mama's food. Come on.
And fake food, bruh, I don't know. It doesn't sit well with me, the concept of it. It's annoying, to be honest. You know what I mean? Like, why would you make fake food? Like, yeah, I can understand you taking vegetables and turning it into a burger, or taking mushrooms and turning it into a burger. That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
But some of the other stuff, I just don't even know what's going on.
Like tofu and stuff like that, yeah? You don't like it?
Yeah. It's telling you it's plant-based, but you're like, I hear you, man.
Or taking a sandwich and making it into a cake.
Like some of the things.
Here we go.
Oh yeah, it's true.
Slice shots, yeah? I thought we were cool today, Chula. I thought it was like the peace day, the only day we have some peace between us. But nah, that didn't last for long.
Not at all. All right, yeah, Chilla said it's going out. Let's play some more of this video, man. Right now, it's funny, isn't it? Like the similarities, but it makes sense because of this being one of the oldest faiths in the world, and as I said, Hinduism is not no small thing. It's not no just one thing, or it's just multiple.
Yeah, but I'm not surprised about Sikhism either, because I heard about this Sufism. It's really strong influence in
of course.
Sikhism. So
exactly,
yeah.
and because Indians have been Muslim for a long time,
yeah,
it makes sense that they didn't dominate the environment, but Hindus did. So we already know what the Muslims believe, and even if it's an extreme form of Islam, it's still Islam. Yeah.
And then we have a lot of Shias over there too. So
right, but people, as I said, don't people mix their culture with their religion?
Always.
Right. And this is the point. You see it in other parts of the world, and you say it's okay, but when you go, to places like India, you think, it's the same thing. Because what was around, somebody came up with Sikhi. You understand? As a neutral, but as a as a new thing in a sense, new age. That's why it's part of the new age thing, because it came new. What was always a fixture was Hinduism and Well, Trilla's like, we do that. Yes. Guess where it came from? You understand? There's so many similarities. I can put any religion and just match it up, and you will see the connections. You know what I mean? The Bible's got the Trinity. They've got Trinity, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva.
It's really interesting, though, that all the religions are connected somehow.
Of course.
Far back, even Sumeria to everything.
Right.
So, but do you think it's okay to really mix religion with culture?
I think in the when it comes to Hinduism, I don't think it should be done. You get it? But then it needs to be done because half of the planet are set to that thing of worship. Some of them want to worship just regardless. You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
they need to believe in something, right? You know, there's people
True.
out there like that. And that's what we're saying. All this idea of worship and da, but it's not yourself. They talk about
Mm.
inner God and inner you, but you then end up worshiping another man.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's a con. It's a game. It's a thing. It's something that demons would do. Demons ain't gonna come here and be horrible to you.
No, of course not. They're trying to manipulate you to love them
Right,
and
right,
worship you and
right.
do the most.
And right, and this is getting manipulated in a holy way because the credits for them is that the more that believe in them, it keeps them alive or keeps them going or keeps them whatever. Do you get it?
Exactly.
Like
Exactly. Go against
we
the
talk
Most
about,
High. Yeah.
they're the real energy vampires.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? They're the real energy vampires because they exist as energy. They're gonna reincarnate. They're gonna jump in someone's body if they're sleeping on their front. Like, yeah,
All
they
of
done.
that. Oh shit. Yeah.
You're gonna get it if you go to the club and get all the flashing lights, and then you drink alcohol and get clubbed with the music. Do you get what I'm saying? Knocked over your head, and then all of a sudden you have an out of body experience where you black out or whatever, and something else
Yeah.
jumps in your body and does some crazy shit. That the next day you have to be
Bro.
asking. You'll be like, "Oh, Axel, what did you do last night?" You'll be like, "What? I don't even
Yeah.
remember." Why?
Exactly.
It was like I wasn't even in my own body.
Yeah.
These are the words that
That's a
come from
mad.
people.
Nah, but that's
Yeah.
when that happens with the blackout, with
Mm.
the alcohol. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
very scary though. It's yeah,
Right.
yeah, it's very scary.
And it's spirits you're drinking.
True, true that. It's spirits. Mm-mm.
Spirits, right? So you know
Yeah,
you're in
that's why I
trouble,
don't deal with spirits like that, you know.
yeah. Or
I
clubbing
can't. Mm-mm.
or discos and stuff. As I said, the flashing lights, all of that. Yeah, I watched it in the little manga. How to
Oh, is
Conjure
it?
Demons back in the
Yeah.
day, yeah. Demon Seed or Demon something it was. And the guy went to the club, turned on the
Mm.
music. You get me? Obviously, people's drinking, the perfect environment for demons to
Mm.
jump into people's bodies. I
Yeah,
was like,
because you
is
don't
it?
have control over your
Right.
spirit.
But I already
So,
knew this situation differently. I'm just saying, when I saw it in manga, I was like, okay, okay.
mm,
And guess what manga's based on? Their form
trouble.
of Hinduism. Yeah? To catch a ball,
Hmm.
to catch a soul, to catch a spirit.
Catch a soul. Yeah, exactly. Spirits
Pokemon is not no
again.
plaything, not a game.
No, Pokemon the same thing, man.
Right.
Yeah,
And then
catching
you,
the soul of the beast or whatever
yeah,
it is. Like, yeah.
right, thank you. Catching anyone's soul in a
Mm,
little ball or whatever, it's madness. And then you're catching little demons, yeah? Pikachu
mm,
and them. You get me? Electric demon, this demon, that demon, water demon, thing demon, earth demon. Oh, it sounds all pretty and thing. Oh, look how cute they look. But really, in
yeah.
reality, if you put it in reality, it's like, rah, what are these youths doing? They're running around
But
town
I feel like
conjuring.
they're glamorizing the demon thing over there in
Right,
the Far
right,
East. It's not
right.
like in our, you know, in Africa. We don't deal with
No,
them, things like that.
no,
Like
no.
glorifying them and
Never find
I
it
don't
for
know,
art
catching them, whatever.
like Triller said.
Mm,
He likened it to Ryu and Dark Ryu and Akuma. These are all Hindu based ideas.
yeah.
The violence of the inner Hadouken. Do you get it?
Hadouken, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, you have to master your Hado and all of these type of stuff. These are practices of Buddhism, you know what I mean? What you call it, martial arts, and all based on Hinduism. Because the first people to teach was a Hindu mystic from India came to China and taught
Mm,
Buddhist monks about qigong and all of these different practices. But these are physical practices. If you study physical, 360 degrees of physical knowledge, it will lead you down that path.
There's maybe next time we could look at Japanese demonology because they do have demons and stuff in their thing as well, isn't it?
Of course,
yeah, yeah.
but
No, yeah, yeah. All of them have. Yeah,
And
yeah.
they were untouched civilization for years. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
but it don't make sense. Deal with the baby. Do you get what I'm saying? When you
Before
can
the
deal with the mother,
grandfather. Yeah,
right,
yeah,
or
yeah.
the grandfather. Yeah, you can't. Yeah, let's deal with India because India is where it's all going to stem from and spread out. And as I said, give you Taoism, Jadeism.
Mm,
That's mostly in China.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? That's not in India, really.
Yeah, I mean, looking at
Hinduism
the
when it's in India, it's Hinduism, in varying forms, and Buddhism and all of this, right? But when it comes out, it becomes Jadeism, Taoism thing, and it's not really out. It's just up the road.
saying it stemmed from India is a good shout, because at the end of the day, when we looked at migration last week, right, about what I mean, how they migrated, the directions that they migrated, it was again, what I mean, from
In that direction,
basically, exactly, it was going away from India, what I mean,
yeah, migrating outwards, exactly,
yeah,
and up towards Mongolia and the Nepal and them steppes
and
around
then
the
maybe
steppe,
and then to China,
or plateau.
island hopping to Japan, and then so on and so forth. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And then mixing and creating new admixtures and now man are calling themselves Korean, Chechen, all of that, because those are the different admixtures. And now they're calling themselves European. Those are the different admixtures of your people, not all, but majority.
Some, yeah.
They're just albino ones of you. The albino ones that managed to make themselves better by mixing in with the more melanated people on the planet, making new admixtures as well, but also, their main thing is melanin, isn't it? That's what it is. It's a battle for survival, not supremacy.
The Guru is his Lord, his Master, his Savior, even greater than God.
Yes, Guru is greater than God.
Mad. Man wrote that in stone,
Guru is greater than God. So Trilla.
Those are the fake ones, man. 100%. Those are the fake ones.
Okay. I'm like, okay.
No, because at first they're saying the right things, right? The principle is that he is a conduit for the creator, leading you to the creator. Look what's happened now. So exactly what
Yeah,
Trill is
but the
saying.
deviating from the real thing then.
Right.
Right?
So this is, as he's saying, this is not the even correct Hinduism.
Yep.
Right. This is new age stuff, new branch. Man are branching off. Man realize they can make money out of this thing and draw in other people from around the world, and this is what man are doing.
Yeah, like, as far as I know, Sikhs would never say that about their guru. You know what I mean? So at the same time, you know what I mean? Like the gurus wouldn't say that, as far as I know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But that's what sets them apart. That's why you've got 10 gurus. This is not part of the 10 guru stuff. This is part of the origin of that way of thinking and that thought in that time and that place. You get what I'm saying? So now a guru, was a teacher, was a high, you know what I mean? A master teacher in that.
The thing is, like, if you look at the Zafarnama, right, the letter written to Aurangzeb, right, the Mughal emperor, right. So when he wrote that, he said, "I came to destroy idol worshipping." You know what I mean, as well. So that just goes to show, like, because again, people were focused on idol worshipping the idol, opposed to worshipping the one creator. You know, so yeah.
Right. That makes sense to me. Okay.
The Guru concept represents within Hinduism the personal dimension which God represents within Christianity.
I have personally talked with many, many gurus, and the sad fact is that within their belief system, they have to be detached and removed from their emotions and compassion, and their cruelty and inhumaneness is seen as spiritual and excused as holy.
I was really interested in their worship and their veneration and their adoration and the gifts and offerings they brought to me. But I was certainly not interested in their problems and their difficulties and hardships and pains.
The Guru followers believe that he returns this incredible love that they feel towards him. But in reality, he feeds off their emotions to maintain his own ego.
So many people come here because they too are in love with Bhagwan. They too are seeking the wisdom, the love that Bhagwan has to offer.
He has so much love, and he gives his love to everybody, and it helps us to find our love in ourselves.
The followers of Jim Jones, leader of the People's Temple, were convinced that their relationship was built on love. In nearly 1,000 of his devoted disciples committed suicide at his command.
Mud.
It was their final gift of total surrender to the leader they loved.
Later.
Their lives cut short by a madman claiming to be God, the reincarnation of Jesus Christ.
Oh, wow.
Guru Sai Baba is one of India's most powerful men with millions of Indian disciples and a growing Western following. He says of himself, "I am God. My power is..."
Well, God is dead now, man. Rest in
Mm-mm.
peace. But yeah, he died a couple of years ago.
The thing is,
So,
like, following your guru, right?
Mm.
Which call it is, you know, I mean, fine, right? So, like, for example, Jagrad would say something like, if Guru was here today, right? Like, for example, hypothetically, and he told us to do something like jump out of a window, right? You wouldn't question if you were a proper devotee, you wouldn't question your guru. You would just do it. Do you know what I mean? Because
yeah, them man are not trying to do that. But I'm just saying.
Right,
Well,
right.
I'm saying if you're
Right.
gonna say that,
Right.
then that brings you into the realms of these men because that's
this is the thing. See, again, like,
information.
what? Right.
Sorry,
But
this
this is the thing. Yeah.
information
Sorry.
was out. Sorry,
Yeah.
at the same time
Yeah.
that we're talking about these things. So these guys got these ideas. They attended these camps. They attended these places. Ran to India, and
No,
they
but see,
weren't trying to be Sikhs, obviously, because you would have seen them with turbans and da-da-da. But as I said, he dominates southern India at the time. This has nothing to do with northern and western and all of that. This is southern India, where the darkies are at. That's why he's got an afro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he's Jareer supposedly or Gillette. I don't know what.
It's a
Both.
mixture.
Yeah,
The
but
thing
he's
is,
a brother. That's all I know.
What I'm trying to highlight the point that
But
when it
he
comes
didn't
to
do anything evil. He was just pouring gold in people's hands and all of that. That's the guy I was talking about,
Right.
obviously.
But
You know what I
like
mean?
for example, right? Look, the guru, right, basically said, "I want somebody's head." You get me, right? In 1699, right? He said, "I want somebody's head." When there was a massive procession, right? There was a big gathering. It was Vaisakhi, we call it today, right? We celebrate that every year. That's the birth of the Khalsa, right? The creation of the army of God. So basically, right, that was basically like our religion was a uniform and a, religion properly, like kind of by then, right? So it's a thing where, like, when he called for a head, somebody came up. Obviously, a lot of people got shook. A lot of people got like started running away and stuff, like, you know what I mean? Because then he not wanted one, he wanted two, then three, then four, then five, and then what happened afterwards? They all came out of the tent, all beautifully clothed, right? And there are two stories to that, right? There's a PG version, and then there's what others say the real version, right? I mean, so the PG version is that's what happened. They all came out, and then they took Amrit, Sanchar, and they were baptized basically, yeah, in that regard. But the other version is that the heads were cut, and then they were placed on different bodies, right? And then they were revived and then brought back. Which one is true? I don't know. The first one is more believable, obviously, for obvious reasons. The second one, again, could be true. Just I don't know. That's what some Sikhs believe, to be true. Interesting, isn't it?
Let's go.
It's divine and has no limit. There is no force, natural or supernatural, that can stop me or my mission. Today, hundreds of these professing God men are invading the West. Is there any need for alarm? Or should we continue to welcome these gods of the New Age? Prabhu Gupta, born and raised in India, is currently a journalist and media commentator in London.
Gurus are going to the West because of two reasons. First, of course, they want to convert people. They want them to become followers of their own religion, in some cases themselves.
Sure, that's not your uncle or something. Chill out.
I thought you were talking to Axum.
Yeah, nah, it would have to be European for me to say that. So, but let's move on.
What did you say?
Nothing.
And secondly, because they feel they have something to offer.
Yeah.
What these gurus have to offer is a family, a community to belong to, which they don't have.
Yeah. Bare Europeans in there, man.
Thousands of seekers, most of them from broken or unstable families, and
Really?
already emotionally wounded, are becoming victims of the gurus.
Mad.
Dr. Oz Guinness, an Oxford scholar and noted world lecturer, is author of the bestseller Dust of Death.
One of the deepest longings in the modern world is for a sense of meaning and belonging, sense in their lives and sort of stability in their worlds. And people, having not found that in the West, are hungry for it. And reacting against the West, they're backing into the arms of the East without looking at it straight.
Ed Senesi is a former member of the International Society of Krishna Consciousness, known as the Hare Krishna movement. For 3 years, he was editor-in-chief.
Mad.
Mm.
You see?
Hare Krishna, here we go.
Hey,
Yeah.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. That's where I got my Mahabharata book from. I was just walking past the dude, and I was like, "Oh, like, what are you like?" He's a, big smiley face, looked like a really polite guy, and just asked him a couple of questions, like, "Oh, what do you believe in?" And then he just pulled out like a book out of his bag as well. He said, "This is a gift for you, and this and that. Once you read it, like, you can pass it on to someone else who hasn't read it." I was like, "All right, cool, man." So yeah, some of these guys, seem pretty cool, like nice anyway.
They do, innit? Yeah, they do. Like my little young brother, what's his name? Jay Shetty.
Yeah.
He's like, he's big now, isn't he?
Bro, he's on the Ellen show. He's doing this, he's doing that.
I know he's doing bits now, man.
Yeah,
that was
bro.
one of my original customers, bro. Pretty boy.
He's a
Pretty
Hindu,
nice.
innit? Because he went to the ashram minute to do his meditation, right? So
Yeah.
same as Sadhguru. Sadhguru is also like a guy who goes to the ashram, does the ashram thing, which is
Basically when he was when I knew him, he was young still, but he was going to like Watford and all of these to do like day conferences or something for the young Hindus to bring people into it. So he would have loads of the books, and him and his friend would go up there and then teach the young Asian boys about Hinduism, and Hare Krishna and all of that. You get it?
Yeah.
He was doing that way back then. He was like 15, 16, and then 17, 18. You know what I mean? I watched him. He went to India, brought books back for man. You know what I'm saying? So this is why the basis of what I'm talking about when I'm talking to people. They think I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm like, bro, I read the books. I had a perfect tutor, a young guy who was doing it for the young people, anyone they wanted to know. So why not the big broski? You know what I mean?
You're definitely open-minded, Maku. I'll give you that, man. Definitely open-minded.
Yeah, I mean, I studied a lot of information, and as I said, being a barber or whatever, it's a personal thing, right? So your relationship with your barber is one of like respecting that.
Yeah, man. It's like almost therapy. People come there, they also talk, bro. Like, it's not just getting your haircut. Yeah.
Exactly. 1 second. Turn this down. Gonna burn the whole house down. Should be. Yeah. Let it simmer. Right, that bit's done. I had to go do some washing up after.
Your time.
Huh?
Your time.
Yeah, nah. All right. We ain't got much time left, but let's do this.
Magazine.
Not unless MJ comes out of the woodwork somewhere.
Family in the Hare Krishna
If
movement is
MJ
very
comes
unfortunate.
in, then yeah, we can.
The family is seen
can keep
more
it
or less
going.
as a necessary evil.
Eckhart Floater, a successful German journalist, became a devoted disciple of Rajneesh in 1979 and spent several months with him in India.
Rajneesh clearly says that the family, that marriage, that all these traditional family bonds are rotten. The only relationship that counts is between his disciples and him.
Kathy, devoted disciple of Maharishi Mahesh Yogi for 15 years, was a teacher and governor of transcendental meditation, known as TM.
I thought Tim was strengthening my family, but it was really weakening it because I was turning all my attention in on myself.
If you have an allegiance to your wife or your children, to the extent that you have that dedication to those people, you are less dedicated to the organization.
I either had to become a member so I could go with him, or he was going to divorce me because he was not supposed to have any outside attachments. He said it wasn't that he didn't love me anymore, and in fact, he still loved me very much. It's just that I was only human, and Bhagwan was superhuman, and therefore he was more deserving of my husband's love than I was.
How many of these people loved their neighbor, their family, in this totally giving way?
Alexandra Schmidt is one of France's leading experts on new religious movements.
How many have been so blind to all the negative aspects of a person they loved as to that of the guru?
Ellen is a spokeswoman for the Brahma Kumaris Raja Yoga Organization, which is completely administered by women who control 800 centers in 40 countries.
Our organization has the practice amongst all the participants of celibacy, whether in individuals or married couples.
I found myself being attracted to my wife, but I couldn't, because as soon as I felt attracted to her emotionally, physically, then it was difficult for me to maintain my celibacy. So the way I resolved that was to turn her into an object of dislike or hate.
We have living proof of thousands of couples who are living in this way and are finding much greater harmony and pure love as opposed to limited physical love.
Over 90% of the marriages in the Krishna movement end in divorce.
Rather than using our energy in raising a family and being involved in many physical relationships, we're focusing that energy on spirituality.
You see, what's so diabolical about all this is that it masquerades as spirituality.
In some schools of thought, to be spiritual, celibacy is encouraged, and yet in others, sexual perversion is practiced, not only among the gurus themselves, but by their disciples, including young children. Contradictions are also seen in the attitude towards women, who, on the spiritual level, are the focus of worship. Their femaleness is seen as the creative power of God. For instance, to be initiated by a female yogini is considered much holier than initiation by a male. And yet, on a day-to-day level, women are considered lower than men and treated as less than human.
Dr. Johannes Ogard is a professor at Aarhus University in Denmark. He is considered to be one of Europe's leading experts on Hinduism and its worldwide missionary movement.
It's fair to say that according to Hindu doctrine, there's no salvation for women. Meaning that if women are to be saved, they have to qualify by serving the males in this life in order that they may be born as males in the next life. I had a conversation with a group of Hare Krishna female missionaries. The leader argued without the slightest irony that the most foolish male is always more intelligent than the most intelligent female.
In the religious communities in India, which are known as ashrams, there is absolutely no place for children. And here in the West, the gurus generally don't want the burden and responsibility of children because it distracts the parents from devotion to him and his cause.
They have a school system whereby they force the children at age 5 to live in the ashram.
A lot of the kids did think it was like prison. They didn't get to go anywhere but the ranch. And while we were at school, it's really just a place for the kids to go to get out of the grown-ups' way.
And they separate them from the mother and father, which is very unfortunate and very destructive.
Well, the kids would want to see their mom and dad, you know, just to be with them as a family. The kids wouldn't even know where their parents were, and they'd have to go look for them. And when they did, parents were usually too busy to talk to them. And so the kids were mainly by themselves and unsupervised.
The most heartbreaking
Pause
result of the
it.
guru invasion to the West is the damage and harm it brings to the children. Those who
Much.
have no other choice.
There's a few points there. Ah, freaking heck. So, all right, with the first guy, the guy who was the leading expert, right? He talked about there's no the difference between men and women in Hinduism. Now, when it comes to salvation, basically, you know, the afterlife and things like that, right? The next life. So, I kind of see a similarity, and again, I'm no expert about Islam, but what you call it, like in Islam, I think there is something different between you know, the rewards, for example, in terms of what the men would receive compared to what the women would receive. I don't even know what might be even mentioned about heaven for women, what you call it, in Islam. So to me, there's a little similarity there in terms of men and women. When it came down to there's a couple other points, but the children also being taken away from their parents, right? Things like that. That was mentioned. I think in old days, I think with the Guru as well, Guru Gobind Singh Ji, his name was Gobind Rai at the time, right? Before he became Guru Gobind. He was also educated, away from his say his family, I think, as well, to a certain degree, for his martial arts, for his languages, for things like that. So a bit like a boarding school, you could say, isn't it? Yeah. So I think that was sort of like common practice as well there. When it comes to children in the temples, right? Obviously, if you got like a baby crying all the time, right, it might distract people from doing their meditation, their prayers, and things like that. Do you know what I mean? When they're singing the hymns and things. So it's a thing where like kids are welcome to be in the Gurdwara, for example, and that's no problem there. But obviously, when it's common sense. If a baby just is, causing a lot of noise, crying, she would basically
you
walk
take
out of
them
the
out.
prayer room. Yeah, take them out of
Yeah.
the prayer room and just sort of like calm the baby down a bit. Like we're in a different area. Do you know what I mean? So that everyone else won't be too disturbed. Do you get me? So
Yeah, that happens in all churches as well. If anyone says that don't happen, or any type of temple, or they'll be lying to themselves. But yeah, these guys are on a slander mission, so just remember that, because this is back in the day as well. You know what I mean? But some of the things they will think are telling the truth, and obviously from the experience of what is going on at the time. Because if they're mentioning Sai Baba and they're mentioning Jim Jones and all of these type of things, I'm telling you, these are like 70s or 60s kind of time.
What can let me address one thing here in the comments with Ebo. Sikhi was never spread by the sword, right? Even when we went to war against other people, other religions and other peoples, right? We never forcefully converted anybody. That's not what we do at all. It happened to the Sikhs, get me, when the Mughal Empire, which are predominantly Muslims, tried to forcefully convert us, right? But again, that was during mostly Aurangzeb's time, when he had his religious fanatics employ this device. You know what I mean? Similar to the whole freaking England prima nocte thing and everything else. Like they just forcefully done things to get me to you. You know what I mean? So
and it never
we never
works.
did that.
It never really works.
We fought with the sword. We defended ourselves with the sword, and we were encouraged to do that and encourage everybody to do that. But we
I
never
find it's
forcefully
very
convert.
difficult when people say, yeah, people went around the world and spread religion with the sword. It's like, how? How? You get me? Are you saying religion or death? Or are you
yeah,
saying fake it till you make it? Because like people will
yeah.
do that. People
It
have done
happened.
that.
Yeah,
But at the
it
end of
happened.
the day, they still practice their thing.
It happened in
Never
India,
change anything.
like with the Kashmiris, for example. They were, from as far as I've read in history, they were given a choice, right? So they were about to be wiped out. Anybody who didn't convert would be killed, basically. That simple. So
Yeah, but you can lie though. I mean,
yeah,
everyone's gonna
you
lie to
can
save
lie,
their
but
life.
then there were people even during 1947, the partition, right, where a lot of Sikhs and Hindus were basically left. Get me in Pakistan, right? A lot of them were forced to convert because you know what I mean, or face death because these mobs, get me, who they had the power at the time. Do you know what I mean? So people did make that choice, and some of them stuck with Islam, even though they, you've seen reunions of some brothers that I've met, one a Sikh, which from a Sikh family, where the guys converted to Islam, being in Pakistan. I mean, and so anyway, things like that happen.
Yeah, they do. That's nuts. But yeah, man, let's play the thing.
Choice than to live in the ashram because their parents have chosen to follow the guru. Separated from parents and cut off from outside relatives, they become community property. They lose their individuality and identity and are alienated from society.
Pastor Friedrich Hack has written over 30 books on various cults and is Germany's leading expert on new religious movements.
Children brought up in a cult are only educated to follow the commands of their leaders. They never experienced freedom. They never experienced a responsible life where they could have their own choice where they could follow their will.
I've had these children to taken them to parks, and they've seen normal people, and they'd recoil in fear from them because they don't look like devotees. The men don't have shaven heads or robes.
I didn't want to leave the ranch. I'd rather stay there because I was scared of the people outside of it. Because, I don't know, you just got a feeling down there, so you were worked into staying there.
Now, why would an organization want to disrupt families like that? My own understanding in the cult dynamic is that it's a principle of control, divide and conquer.
According to the Guru Gita, one of Hinduism's most important scriptures, the follower must not only adore and worship the Guru as God, but surrender himself and all his possessions as well.
Most of the gurus that I know of in the West are super rich. Gurus are more interested in white disciples than in Indian disciples, largely because they get more money from the whites.
Rob, former transcendental meditator for 13 years, was a TM governor and in charge of teacher training at Maharishi International University.
The TM movement is very wealthy. They have land holdings all over the world. They have beautiful hotels in Switzerland. They have university campuses in the Midwest. They have academies on the East Coast, the West Coast.
Here he was getting served on silver plates 6 times a day, sleeping on a very soft bed, riding around in a Mercedes. But supposedly he was so renounced that he wasn't attached to these things, so that gave him a right to enjoy them.
Maharishi made a statement that says, when the money comes to me, he says it's transcendental.
Money is our last priority. Everything else is our first priority.
Hundreds of gurus have grown incredibly rich in the West through tax-exempt donations, and the manufacture and distribution of every kind of memorabilia honoring these self-proclaimed God-men.
Mad.
They have acquired vast land holdings, armed bodyguards, and outrageous luxuries, from posh hotels to their own fleets of planes, helicopters.
Kind of like the Pope.
And as in
Yeah.
Rajneesh's case,
They're moving
40 Rolls Royces.
40 Rolls Royces.
Mm.
Get out of here, man.
This country is a capitalist country, and anything that produces or helps capitalism, why not? Anybody who says, why have Rolls Royce? I say, you're a communist.
That doesn't even make sense.
The guru's hypocrisy is diabolical.
Isn't it?
Criticizing the materialism and commercialism in the West and convincing their followers that non-materialism will get them up the spiritual ladder. These gods of the New Age are
Hypocrites.
all the way to that.
that cash steel's going cha-ching.
I know of groups involved
Old
in
school.
drug
Yeah.
trafficking, smuggling,
Wow.
prostitution, and the buying and selling of
Uh-oh,
weapons,
killer.
all done to earn money for the gurus.
Yeah, pause it.
Mad. Prostitution for the guru, yeah? Mad.
Pause it.
Mad.
So basically, like, there were like instances, like I gave this example before, and again, you know, that fucking prick Raj tried to use this against me and tried to manipulate it into his own bullshit. But like, what you call it? There was in Southall, right? There was a guy called Dashant Das, right? And there are a lot of people that follow him. He died in 1984, right? So he was assassinated in 1984 by 2 Singhs, right? That are Amrit Singhs. You get me, yeah?
Right.
So basically, right, they were following. They were like watching him for 6 months. They were in his, like sermons and stuff. Yeah, they were with him. Yeah, and they were seeing what, like, trying to get close to see what he's about. And apparently, they were saying he was desecrating the Guru Granth Sahib. He was basically breaking up families, so women would come to him for advice, and he would basically, him and his cult would try and divide them from the family, from their children, and keep the woman and use her for sex and pass her around and drug her and do all sorts of shit with her, right? So this is another, reason why these guys took it upon themselves to execute him before they could he could hurt any more people. But again, how true is the reasons? I don't know, right? But these guys are still alive. They just come out of prison. They just served life sentences. So, and they're really well known within the community. So it wouldn't be too hard to get that information. You know what I mean?
They're heroes now. That's
They
how
are.
heroism.
I mean, dude, like people the people that assassinated Indira Gandhi, yeah.
Mm,
What would you call that today? They would call that freaking a T, innit? Terrorist, yeah. But like,
yeah.
I mean, like, end of the day, that we look at them as heroes because Indira Gandhi attacked the Harmandir Sahib. You know what I mean? Things like that. So one man's freedom fighter is another man's
It's
terrorist.
another man's.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get you. I get you. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Mad though.
Making
This is
money
good,
with
one.
it.
I have evidence that the Rajneesh organization is making a lot of their income through illegal trafficking of drugs into this country.
Mad.
If you have your head in the right place, you can create money. It is an art.
Whatever,
They were
man.
encouraged to smuggle dope from India to Europe, and
Mad.
from this money they could pay their workshops.
If they have to tell you they're with the Christian Children's Fund, or they're with the Salvation Army, or they're using the money to find men missing in action in Vietnam, whatever they have to do to get the money, they'll do that because they believe what their guru told them, that the end justifies the means.
Mad.
Hinduism teaches you to die to the voice of conscience inside that says it's wrong. It teaches that there is no sin. This can be seen in the way that gurus and their disciples justify murder, violence,
Mad.
robbery,
Mad.
bribery, and crooked business transactions, all done in the name of heavenly deception.
Wow.
This
People
is
were
crazy.
encouraged not only to spy on each other
Yeah,
when
yeah.
they were not properly
Mad.
surrendering
I
to
told
God.
you, man.
People were encouraged to lie to each other.
Hmm.
The mail is censored. We know of bribery with local politicians. People undergo, as I did, a change in their value system and become confused about what is right and what is wrong.
Another danger that you can see in a lot of the Eastern thinking is the sort of syncretism and the failure to make distinctions so that you transcend not just right and wrong, but this and that.
Hmm.
And I think it's very important to say there are distinctions, not just between right and wrong, but between all sorts of things, to think critically, to think clearly.
The whole philosophy of Hinduism is very relative. There are no absolute moral standards upon which to act.
Mad.
Your feeling of right or wrong would change according to your level of consciousness.
You can become
So if you reach that level of consciousness where it's already to have sex with a child, then what? No, that's mad. You can't just be free in this world, man. You got to have some limits and got to have some boundaries put in, because humans are demons, man.
Completely under the power of this particular
Test people.
person, that you refuse to think, or if you like, you're unable to think, you can lose the power to take decisions of any sort, no matter how trifling, in any area of your life.
Sally Belfridge, former resident of Rajneesh's religious community in India, wrote of her disillusionment in her book, Flowers of Emptiness.
I felt more and more kind of drawn into this emptiness of his. It's impossible to describe. It's more than charisma. Charisma doesn't do it justice at all. It's more than an aura. I really believe that he knew something I didn't. That he was on a plane that I was not.
They ask you for total and also brainless obedience and worship.
Sif's dad, mad. How do you get Sif's dad in How do you get
The
Sif's dad in
accent
the
was on
video, man?
point.
Really? Yes, they
Yeah.
told me, I'm evil. Yes,
Evil.
I said I'm evil. I think I'm evil. Like, what? Nigga, you better know you're evil. No, what you mean you think?
Sif acts dumb, but he ain't dumb. He's
ain't dumb.
acting.
God.
Yeah.
They
No,
are
he's not dumb.
It is, look.
and you have to follow
Yeah.
these gods. You are not asked to deal with your brain and
That one
ask
look,
questions.
that one looked like Kanye West. How did it? What? Why did Kanye
It's a
West
Kanye,
guru?
you know.
Man had
More and more
Kanye
kind
West
of
guru
drawn
face.
into his. I
You
didn't.
see?
That he was on a plane that I was not.
I was
They
not.
ask you for total and also brainless obedience and
Okay.
worship because
Daddy
they
Sif.
are God and they are more than human, and you have to follow these gods. You are not asked to deal with your
Yeah,
brain.
that one Kanye West. Man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you mean the chin and the thingy.
yeah, he just said
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I can see that.
Who's this Kanye West looking guy? Like, what's going on here?
Through the wire, yeah.
Man.
I
discover with amazement
Mad.
and dismay the readiness of people to submit. So many people in the world feel that they've got to fling themselves headlong and believe and give up their
I
autonomy.
told you that you see that section of the community that wants to, of the world that needs to worship. Yeah. So
Mm.
this is something that has always been fed. This this thing from ancient times, and now people are capitalizing on it. Huh. Yeah, not only in the Hindu world, as we know, it's everywhere.
Mm.
You know what I mean? As Trilla said before, them Jimmy Swaggarts and them type of American evangelists. We've got the African ones with
Yeah, yeah,
what's
yeah.
his name? Pastor this one and Pastor that one, and TD Jakes and all of this type of stuff. So it's not uncommon now. It's standard. The real message got left a long time ago. This is about making money,
Yeah,
business.
yeah.
Mm.
But this
And the
one, yeah, definitely.
muftis and then everyone. Yeah, yeah.
But
Come
some
on.
of this one is soul consuming. They're gonna take your
See,
soul, man.
see the similarity that I just thought this
Nicely as
now.
well.
Like, obviously, we talked about the fraudulent ones, right? Again, the ones that are just caking for themselves, right? Pretending to be pious, yeah, and everything
Right.
else, right, to get the money. So, like, it's a thing where, like, obviously, the gurus, right, would what you call it, like, want offerings of like not just money, arms, you get me, right? Horses, you get me, right? Things that they could use, you know what I mean, right? For battle and things like that. So like, and at the same time, he had many. He had the best clothes. You get me, right? He was dressed beautifully, and he was also encouraging others to do that as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean,
Cool. As I said, yeah, we know this is bad Guru 101.
right? But
This
you
is
see,
Hinduism.
you see the similarity, bro. Like this is why it's really interesting because it's so close. But
Yeah.
again, that what makes it different is again the intention.
Intention, yes. Well, one is admiration to the the higher force, and this one is admiration to the individual who was meant to
Yes,
be the intercessor for the higher force.
the ego. Yeah,
Right. So on one hand, the guru is the representation or the way to the real guru. Do you know what I'm saying? To the higher guru, in a sense, the consciousness, guru consciousness, let's say,
Mm.
right? But you need a guide, you need a teacher, a baba, a father. You know what I mean? The words mean all the same thing: teacher, father. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because again, the guru is light and dark. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like the guide the guide
Right,
for to teach you through light
right.
to show you
So
the way through
teacher,
light and darkness. Yeah,
right. So teacher is father, and your father would. They would say your father would do the same thing.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Your father would do the same thing, no? He would teach you how to be a man,
Yeah.
how to do certain things, how to work, how to be a businessman, how to do like him or do different from him or whatever it is, you know? So
Yeah, no,
that's why when they say teacher or master teacher or guru or father or da, we understand the concept and the principle, but don't then now put that individual in the position of the supreme creator. It doesn't make sense.
but
You know what I mean?
also good
But
to
it
consider.
does
Yeah,
if it's not the power of that guru or the god or the, you know what I mean, or Allah working through that
mm.
individual. There's
But
the
see,
other force because there's yin and yang, right? So
yeah,
it must be the yang to the yin.
yeah.
And now we're
So
hearing a lot on the yin side, and it's caressed up all nicely. But in the end of it, they're trying to snatch your soul, snatch your money, snatch your liberty, leave you, make you abandon your children. Do you get what I'm saying? In this Jimmy Asian Jimmy Swaggart, let's put it that way.
I hear that.
Or
So like
Hindu.
we also I want to mention basically that when it comes to like the father teaching the son, that's patriarchy. You know what I mean, right? Where that would
Yeah.
happen. So nowadays, obviously, with this feminism, modern day, and everything else, it's more matriarchy in it, where basically
Mhm.
women are teaching our sons and you know what I mean, like how
Yeah.
to be men, which is just you know what I mean, not
Yeah.
always a good idea, depending on you know what I mean.
Not always good, depending
Yeah,
on your environment. Back
yeah.
home, it would mean nothing.
Mm.
Your mother could bring you up without your father, and you'd still be a proper
Yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah. Like my
You know what I'm
sister,
saying?
for example, raised my nephew beautifully, like better
Yeah,
than
yeah,
like her you know, what I mean, better than her
yeah.
dad could. Do you know what I mean? His dad.
But
So like,
sometimes the example given, what the women use,
mm,
are their own father. So they've still got that to
Yeah.
draw on. Do you know what I'm
Right. Good
saying?
point. Excellent
Oh,
point.
if
Yeah.
the son, if I
Mm,
create as a woman, for
mm,
example, pause, yeah, she creates a son,
mm,
yeah, she either wants it to be like the partner,
mhm,
yeah, most
mm,
definitely first. He gets first dibs,
yeah.
right? If he's not around or then it goes to the next one, which should usually be her father. If her father's not the good one, it might be the brother, it
Mm,
might be a cousin, it might be someone in the family, a male role model who she looks up to, who she's trying to model her son around. And if not that, then it's freelance, and that's when we get into problems.
mhm,
Because as you said, in reality, that's only one half. It's the yin and yang of life. To only be grown up by your mother, then you're losing out what your father would give. Do you get what I'm
mm,
saying? In
yeah.
some respects,
Yeah.
because of the society we live in, where it's like women are women, in it. It's like our women, our mothers, and that they're different. They're multiple. They can do construction. They can
Mm,
do
They
DIY.
can
They
do
can do
everything, Marco.
everything. Yeah.
Everything.
So
Mm.
and they had 5 kids at the same time.
I
You get me?
know, I know.
Exactly.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Exactly.
That's what I'm trying to say. One on the back. You know what I mean? One tied to the back and like, yeah, you go and pick this. Go and you
Hey,
Triller, go and pick that up.
with the
Mm,
freaking bottle of you know, with that big thing they put on their head, like wood is water or a massive
mm-hmm.
stack of hay
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the
Doesn't
baby
matter.
attached.
And the baby.
Yeah.
You get me? Could be a concrete block or a
Multitasking
tree
at
block.
the same time. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
And still
at its
grab the
finest.
machete and clear the whole garden before
Yeah,
you
See.
come back from school. Like, Ross, you done this,
mad.
mom? Yes, yes. I couldn't wait for anybody. I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
safe, safe. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, my mom was like that with plugs, electrical appliances. She was just doing her thing.
Mm,
Yeah. When there was a dad there, yeah, it was cool. But when there was no dad there, she just assumed the role.
yeah.
And
Like
then
Mm.
they usually push
yeah.
the eldest son into the role of the father.
Yeah, like my mum would tell me that's your job. I'm like, all
Yeah,
right.
you the man of the house.
Yeah, that's your job.
You the man of the house, or
Uh,
soon you will be man of the house. You know
you
the
know what I mean?
one?
Like you gotta take care of the bills, you gotta do
Mm-hmm.
the paperwork,
Right.
you gotta clear up, you gotta do this and that. You get me?
Yeah.
Like it's madness. But
That's
it's gotta be
right.
done.
So
It's gotta be done.
there are. Mm, our parents are our first gurus.
Mm.
Let's put it
Mm.
that way. If you want to look at it in a particular way, yeah, our parents are our first gurus, are
I hear
our
you,
first
man.
teachers, are our first. You get what I'm saying? In all of the different determining words to try and
Mm.
get to the same point. But what we're seeing here is a clearly where they've gone one step above now.
Mm.
Now these men are not gurus anymore. They're gods. They're gods. They've
Mm.
gone to another level. Now you're a deity.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Now
Mm.
just say it. Like don't play no games. What deity are you? Who are you? That is in front of us. How long
Similarly,
ago did you come from?
similarly, how you made the point last time about how
Mm.
culture influences you more than religion in terms of like it comes first. When you made that point last time,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
was a very good point because again,
yeah,
how many of us are influenced culturally, even though we should be more focused on the religion. You know what I
yeah.
mean? So
I mean, I laugh when I get proper Asian Muslims and all of that telling me Happy Diwali. I'm like, huh?
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Diwali, you know?
Yeah, side plate. Like, huh? Hold on, but
Mm.
I know you're Indian, yeah, but yeah, okay, is this a cultural thing? Yeah. Okay, because I didn't think it was. I thought it was Hindu.
Mm.
You ain't Hindu. No, I'm not Hindu. Yeah, right. It's a culture, innit? We always do it, innit? Okay, say nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I left it alone. I was just like, all right, safe, safe. Until one day it came up. You know what I mean? I'm in speaker's corner and I got bare these Asian brothers. I'm like, bro, how many of you from India? I'm from India. I'm from India. I'm from India. So why are you caping for Islam like you like that? You get it? Like yeah, when you know your original thing was Hindu or Buddhist or whatever. You get it? And they're like, yeah, maybe, but we're not into that anymore. Okay,
Yeah.
safe, safe.
I mean, like Jats just asked the question here. What if your parent is an abuser? Is he or she still a guru? Now, I think you're missing the point, Jat. We're talking about
Nah,
those
yeah, they are.
those that are closest to you are going to be the most influential to you. Do you know what I mean? So
And
when
we
it
just
comes,
talked about bad gurus. We just
yeah,
talked about. We're looking at
you know,
them right on the screen. So how can a parent not be a bad guru? Yeah, of course, there's bear parents, baby peas, and all sorts
yeah,
that were examples of when it doesn't go correctly.
yeah,
Because for most of us, there is no handbook.
yeah.
When if we go culturally, there's always been a handbook on how to live, how to parent, how to do it, in our cultures. But we are away from our cultures now, growing up in this society where everything is, regiment or baby fed to you. When you should have known a lot of these things long time ago, then it wouldn't have such an effect now that people online arguing. But it makes for good entertainment. But yeah, in reality, go on.
Like there are many things in Sikhi, right? That basically, like for example, if you compare Islam and Sikhi, right? Like Islam has like like a code book of how to do a lot of things, right? Whether when it comes to eating and sleeping and all sorts of things, right? Whereas it comes to Sikhi, that a lot of that is not mentioned, right? Where it takes culture basically as is common sense, you get me, yeah, to basically conduct yourself in that appropriate manner. Do you know what I mean? So it won't tell you how to eat. It's like a spiritual guidebook, you know what I mean, in that way. You know what I mean? Not like other faiths telling you how to do everything A to Z, for example, do you know? So it's a thing where like culture is gonna play a part in the faith. You know what I mean? So yeah. Regardless, it's gonna have some influence.
All right, big. All right, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah, man, we'll do a part 2, bro. We'll do a part 2.
Yeah, man, definitely, man. This was a good video. Like, I'm gonna keep it in my archives and make sure it's saved so we can get back to it next time. You know what I mean? When we're on this thing. Hopefully, I might be on tomorrow. Lean. I'm gonna be you tomorrow if I'm on. Christmas birthday.
Big
I'm
up.
gonna be
Have a
chill
nice
out.
night,
Like,
yeah.
on the chef thing. Anyone who's going, big up yourselves. Make sure you got your ticket and you can meet Sniper. You get me in the flesh. You get me? So yeah, man. Big up everyone and big up everyone who couldn't make it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, big up, big up.
But yeah, man. Definitely we'll catch up again very soon.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Peace out.
Ciao.
Everyone.
Peace out. Big up.
Good.